First strike thrown of the day by Darian Smith. Karsten Sabathia out of Georgia Tech holds the runner on at first. Andrew Fisher plays second. Tyler Petterini, the shortstop. Daniel Cuvée, the hot corner at third. He is even with the bag and far off the line as Taylor takes a strike two outside. Outfield from left to right, Nolan Schubert, Nick Dubanil, and J.D. Rogers plays right. Gio Cueto behind the dish receiving the pitches from Darian Smith today, who comes set with the glove in front of his chest. And the 1-2 pitch to Taylor. He's going to have to wait as he checks back at first, and Naraki's back in standing up. High stolen base guy this year, Naraki, especially last year, I should say, at Martha's Vineyard. He takes his lead over there. 18 for 23 in stolen bags last summer, Nolan Naraki on the Vineyard. Short lead at first, though, as the 1-2 pitch to Taylor is spoiled foul high out of play over the Brewster dugout that's on the third base side. Plenty of fans on the home grandstand side that's in between the Brewster dugout and the press box. We are just to the right of the press box, in between that, in front of the visiting grandstand, so we're looking straight up this third base line. Overcast skies overhead from Brewster, the 1-2 pitch from Taylor again. Smith dials it in down low at 93 miles an hour, and it's 2-2. Devin Taylor not in the lineup last night, hasn't played in the field yet this year, a designated hitter in each of his now 4 games played. 2-2 from Smith, bounces in there, count full. Headed into this season, Taylor was ranked the number 14 outfielder in the nation by D1 Baseball. Haven't had an opportunity to see that in the field yet this summer, but obviously a great bat at the top of the lineup for Indiana this past season. Pitcher checks back at first, and Araki's in standing up again. So it was a 4-2 win for the Kettleers last night against Hyannis. They fell behind early, 2-0, but a Grant J 2-run homer knotted the game up at 2s halfway through. The payoff pitch to Taylor. He stays alive by fouling it straight back into the net. Count remains 3-2. Kettleers were able to get the go-ahead run on a Nathan Hall RBI single late in that ball game, and then took advantage of a mistake from Hyannis pitching. And Tyler Cerny was able to score on a wild pitch to score the 4th run of the game for the Kets, and the game ended shortly after that as the next pitch to Taylor misses low and inside, and he's on his way to first with a walk. So back-to-back walks start off this game for the Kets here in Brewster.
Darian Smith really trying to paint on the inside corner, first against Naraki, now here against Taylor, but just not having control of the fastball. Sinker type pitch just went too far inside, and back-to-back walks for the Kettleers offense.
That'll bring up Tyler Cerny. Excuse me, this is actually Nathan Hall. Cerny further down in the lineup at 5th. Nathan Hall, Clemson Tiger with number 22. And Clemson, number 21, here for the Kettleers. First pitch is outside on the breaking ball for ball 1. He wears that ankle guard that's all orange, purple outline on it. He also has some, would you call those yellow batting gloves?
I'd say yellow.
Be interesting to see where he got those. Not really matching either of these teams, Clemson, the Vineyard, or Cotuit. Next pitch is the same one. This time it's a bit more inside on Hall, and it counts 1-1. 81 that time from Darian Smith. Working with the changeup, breaking ball, and sinker as the light blue glove is in front of his chest. The 1-1 pitch to Hall is a fastball roped on the ground towards third. Up with it is Cuvée, throws to second for 1. Relay to first is not going to be in time. The Kettleers will put runners on the corners as Brewster gets the first out of this frame, and A.J. Gracia digs in.
Smith got the ground ball he was looking for as that was chopped hard on the ground over toward the hot corner, but good speed by Hall to leg it out and reach on the fielder's choice.
It seems like that's something that the Kets have done really well these past few games. We mentioned the offensive struggles through the first 3, but just being able to put in quality at-bats and make a difference even when guys aren't necessarily getting too many base knocks. The first pitch to A.J. Gracia. He's back in the lineup and takes a strike or a ball low and outside at 92. 1-0. Gracia, 182 hitter so far this summer, has 2 hits and 11 at-bats. And this is 5th game today. An upright batting stance deep in the left side of the box. Righty Smith throws. It bounces in. A good block by the catcher. And the count pushes to 2-0.
Smith, so far 17 pitches in this inning, just 6 strikes, 11 balls. Really have not seen that control in the early portion of this inning.
Grassi with runners on the corners. The third baseman playing far off the line. Infield shifted to the pull side for the lefty Gracia. The 2-0 pitch from Smith is a breaking ball low in the zone, called to strike 1. Gracia just finishing up his freshman season at Duke, has an opportunity here to drive in an RBI on the summer with a runner just 90 feet away. They'll check at first at Nathan Hall, back in standing. Naraki led off this inning with a 4-pitch walk. Devin Taylor walked. He was cut down on that fielder's choice, and Hall advanced to first. So 1 gone in the frame, 0-0. The score is still as the Kets are having their first tries against Darian Smith today. The 2-1 pitch as he comes set is a fastball split through the left side of the infield, and that's a base hit for A.J. Gracia. Naraki will come home and score from third, and the Kets have taken a 1-0 lead in the top of the first.
Great piece of hitting there from Grassi. Got a pitch he could jump on from Smith and made no mistake rocketing that into left field and picking up an RBI. And this is something that we've seen the Cats really do well in these last few games, getting hits and getting singles, not just relying on the long ball. And it's an RBI single that nets them their first run.
Here's Tyler Cerny. A hit in last night's game. He spoils the first one foul down the first base line. Was 0 for 3 going into his final at bat. Really had a frustrating day at the plate. Struck out looking twice. Also popped out on the infield. Then followed that up with a roped double down the third base line to be put on second, and eventually was the 4th run of the game for the Kettleers to add some insurance, but Harborhawks weren't given another chance. A line drive into right field, that sits down for a base hit. Rogers is up and gunning. They'll hold the runner up at third. Nathan Hall stays there. Gracia moves up to second, and the bases are juiced for Kian Vu.
The runners had to remain close to the bag as they weren't sure if that was going to be caught by the right fielder, J.D. Rogers. But as soon as that ball fell, they moved up station to station. So it's a big spot for a struggling Kian Vu, who could really put damage into the scoreboard with the Cats already leading 1-0.
Yeah, Vu with 1 RBI on the season so far is 2 for 10. Sets up in the back of the left side of the box. Facing the righty Smith. The first pitch is low and inside. Catcher will check back at first. Sabathia receives it behind the bag there. Cerny was back in standing up, and dangerous throw there from behind the plate from Cueto. Looked like his first baseman Sabathia not exactly ready for that one. He's not holding the runner on there. He's playing behind Cerny at first. Gracia takes his lead at second. The third baseman even with the bag where Hall stands, and now a twisting pop-up on the infield. Ranging in is Petterini, and he flags that down for the first out. It's kind of an interesting ball flight there from the bat of Kian Vu. Saws it off halfway up. A jam shot from Smith and a well-located pitch to get that second out. So here's Grant J. A 2-run homer in last night's game, his second of the summer. Bases juiced and takes a big cut at the first pitch he sees. A 91-mile-an-hour fastball down low, and he's down in the count 0-1. I think you saw those 2 home runs this past week from Grant J being the result of a lot of work that he's been putting in with Mike Roberts. As the 0-1 pitch from Smith is a breaking ball hammered down the left field line and foul.
Jay was on that pitch there.
He's been on the attack in this at-bat.
That's exactly right. 2 big cuts and just was out in front on that last pitch and yanked it down the third base line.
Smith in control, though, with the count at 0-2. Jay with a slightly closed off stance awaits from the right side. The 0-1. Breaking ball hit hard on the ground towards short. A three-hopper into the glove of Petterini, flips to second for the easy force out there, as the Kettleers will leave the bases juiced in the top of the first inning, but get a 1-0 lead off Tyler Cerny's RBI single. We go to the bottom of the first. Ketts leading 1-0 on the Kettleers radio network.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Bottom of the first inning, and the Kettleers taking to the field, facing the Whitecaps for the first time this season. And how do they line up against Ben Jacobs today, Alex?
Leading things off is the right fielder J.D. Rogers. Behind him in the order, Ryder Helfreck. Batting third, playing left field, Nolan Schubert. Hitting cleanup at third base, Daniel Cuvée. Batting fifth, playing second, Andrew Fisher. Hitting sixth, playing center field, Nick Dumanil. Hitting seventh, playing short, Tyler Petterini. Hitting eighth and catching, Gio Cueto. And rounding out the order is the first baseman, Karsten Sabathia.
So it'll be Ben Jacobs in his second appearance and second start as a Kettleer. Lefty working from the stretch. Third baseman Naraki is playing up on the grass for the first pitch to J.D. Rogers. And the Vanderbilt product takes a ball one high. Nolan Naraki plays the hot corner at third, far off the line there and up on the grass. Tyler Cerny plays short. Jaron Advincula deep at second. Tanner Thatch closer to the line at first and playing back of the bag. The 1-0 pitch from Jacobs is a fastball over the heart of the plate for strike one. Nathan Hall plays in left field. Kian Vu in center for the Ketts. Right fielder is A.J. Gracia. Grant Jay will receive these pitches from Ben Jacobs today. We'll see how far he goes in this game. Went 2 innings last time against Orleans. The 1-1 pitch is a breaking ball inside, taken by Rogers for ball two. J.D. Rogers gets his 18th at-bat of the summer right here. This is 6th game played. 8 hits so far and a good campaign so far. Following up a year at Vanderbilt where he didn't get too much playing time, Alex, as the next pitch is low and outside, 3-1.
These past 2 years at Vanderbilt, just 21 at-bats over the last 2 years. Did get 5 hits this past year and 15 at-bats, so played in 16 games, but not getting the volume that you want to see.
Now one of the best hitters in this Brewster lineup, batting .471 through these first 5 as the next pitch is fouled straight back. And he's worked a good at-bat here to start off Ben Jacobs' afternoon.
He's also a dangerous guy to put on base. 4 stolen bases has yet to be thrown out, so a lot of speed coming from J.D. Rogers.
Jacobs with the red glove comes set on the third base side of that rubber. Glove just above his belt, the payoff pitch. It's hammered into straightaway center field. Vu sprinting back, reaching up, leaping, and he makes the grab. What a play by Kian Vu to flag down the first out of this bottom of the first, robbing J.D. Rogers of extra bases.
J.D. Rogers gave that ball a ride, and Kien Vu, off the crack of the bat, got on his high horse and making the running grab. Really nice play out in center field.
Now Ryder Helfrich, an Arkansas right-handed bat. Looked like he was about to run back to the dugout to grab something there for a second, but now he digs in, wearing those Arkansas Razorback colors on the left elbow Evo shield and the ankle guard. First pitch he sees from Jacobs is outside for ball one. Brewster wearing those nice home white pinstripe uniforms, navy blue pinstripes with the script Whitecaps etched across the front of it. A front number on the front side as well. No buttons on the jersey. Navy blue belt with the pinstripe pants, just like the Kettleers, as the next pitch is up high. 2 balls, no strikes from Jacobs to Helfrich. Cotuit wearing those road maroons with the navy blue Cotuit lettering across the front. And the pinstripes as always. The 2-0 pitch from Jacobs is upcoming. Here it comes. A fastball that takes a big cut out of Helfrich, and he goes back to 2-1. Ryder Helfrich, also not a super large sample size this past season at Arkansas, but played in 31 games for the Razorbacks. 3 bombs highlighted his 15 base knocks that he was able to get this year at Arkansas. As the next pitch is down low in the dirt. 3 balls, 1 strikes to him. Solid summer so far, though. Has a couple hits. 250 average and batting at the second spot in Jamie Shevchik's order today. Jacobs behind in the count once again. It's 3-1. Here it comes. Fastball hit hard on the ground towards the Brewster dugout and foul.
That was cracked right at their dugout. A loud crack of the bat, and a couple of Whitecaps have to get out of the way.
Yeah, it hit the netting just in front of that dugout, where all the players are leaning over watching Ryder Helfrich's first at bat. The 3-2 pitch is a fastball hit high and in foul territory. Creeping to the fence is Naraki, and he will run out of space as that one falls down the third base line. So the bullpens are down either baseline here, kind of tucked away behind the fencing, though, and not a lot of foul ground around Brewster and Stony Brook Field. Been talking about that the last few days. This is one of those ballparks that really does not have too much foul ground at all.
We've seen foul ground come into play, a lot of wild pitches in the last 2 games, and we'll see how it affects tonight's contest.
Jacobs takes a deep breath before the 3-2 again, and it's cut on and missed, strike 3. Down goes Ryder Helfrich as he throws the fastball up and away to him. He chases after it, and it's the first strikeout of the day for Ben Jacobs.
A 7-pitch at bat, capitalized with a strikeout there of Helfrich, and Jacobs just reared back and fired and blew it right past the righty.
13 pitches, 7 of which have been strikes so far for Jacobs. And there's 2 gone for the talented Nolan Schubart out of Oklahoma State. All black batting gloves with the all black wooden bat waving above his left shoulder. And the lefty on lefty matchup starts with a fastball low for strike 1. Ben Jacobs gets ahead of Schubart, coming off another monster campaign at Oklahoma State where he batted .370. That was following up a freshman campaign where he went .338 in 61 games, 59 of which were starts. 0-1 pitch, bounces in there, and a good block by Jay to send the count to 1-1. So Schubart playing with Chatham last summer, making the switch within the Eastern Division to Brewster, playing for Shevchik's squad, who's coming off of the 2021 Cape League Championship, the last one they won it, or the last time they won it, and that was back-to-back too. 1-1 pitch. Too far outside, and Schubart sends the count to 2-1. 49 games this past season for Schubart. An .838 slugging percentage as he blew out 23 homers. Already 3 on the summer, and the next pitch bounces in. It's 3-1, so Jacobs falling behind early in these first few counts.
Jacobs just got ahead 0-1 and then just 3 consecutive balls to the dangerous Schubert. It's a tough matchup. He does lead the Cape in home runs this year with the 3 that you mentioned, so could be a smart decision to pitch around him.
He takes low, and with 2 gone, Brewster will put their first runner on base of the day. So Schubert works the 5-pitch walk. Jacobs struggling to find the strike zone in these first few batters face, but no damage done so far by the Whitecaps, and there's 1 on with 2 gone for Daniel Cotuit. The Miami third baseman digs in. Facing Jacobs for the first time, and the lefty deals from the stretch, swats one high and out of play, foul. Cotuit behind 0-1. Cotuit in 5 games so far has 7 hits, 7 for 17. That's good for a .412 batting average. So a great start to the summer for him, and a Brewster team that is much similar to the Kettleers in terms of the way their seasons have gone. A 1-3 start for both of these squads. The next pitch is low and outside from Jacobs. 1-1. But now rattled off 2 straight wins, and big wins at that. Brewster outscoring opponents by a lot in these last few games. 22-8 they've outscored opponents in this 2-game win streak. The 1-1 pitch is fanned at and missed for strike 2. So both of these teams on 2-game win streaks. Cotuit with that 18-4 win at Harwich on Tuesday night, a 4-2 win last night against Hyannis. Thursday night win as well, as the next pitch is hit hard down the right field line, creeping into foul territory, and it goes foul. So not a lot of foul ground here at Stony Brook Field, and we saw more of it right there. Good communication there from Grant J, letting his outfielders know that that one was headed far out of play, not making them exercise too much effort chasing after it, as the count remains 1-2 to the right-handed hitter out of Miami, Cotuit. Jacobs trying to get out of the inning. A fastball is hit foul straight back into the screen, so he stays alive, and another good at-bat worked here by Cotuit.
Cotuit continuing to foul off pitches here against Jacobs, and he's such a talented hitter. Hit .351 this past year at Miami, 24 home runs that set the new freshman record with the Hurricanes. Also had 75 RBIs, and he's really relaying that into the summer.
1-2 pitch is cut on and missed at one that was low and outside, not close to the box, but Cotuit goes down chasing. So Brewster will leave a runner on first. Kettleers still lead it 1-0 as we go to the top of the second on the Ketts Radio Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Top of the second inning from Brewster, Stony Brook Field. Joe Pratt, Alex Rocco are with you. Kettleers putting 5 runners on base in that last inning in the first. Able to bring one around on A.J. Gracia's RBI single, and they lead it 1-0. Back on the mound is Darian Smith, and into his windup he goes, and Tanner Thatch swings through a 92-mile-an-hour fastball for strike one. So the Cats brought 7 batters up to the plate in the first. Thatch, the 8-man, will lead off. The 0-1 pitch is outside, but called a strike two. Thatch didn't quite like that call, but he is down in the count 0-2 on a pair of fastballs from Smith, who's working quickly and from the windup has the glove just above his belt. Right foot on the rubber as he goes into his windup, brings that glove back behind his head and throws. An 0-2 pitch that misses low at 84, and it's 1-2.
Thatch thought that 0-1 pitch was too far off the plate, but Smith just clipping the outside corner to move the count to 0-2.
Thatch rolls one on the ground towards third. Cuvée is up with it and in time at first to get Thatch there for out number 1. So 3 pitches and 1 out to start off the top of the second for Darian Smith.
Smith has settled in after getting into some trouble in the top of the first. After giving up that hit to Cerny, got the pop-up of Vu and the ground out of Jay, and now ground out to start off the inning. And this could be building some confidence. You get the first out of the inning after struggling in the top of the first. So could be sign of things to come for Darian Smith out on the mound.
Yeah, Kettleers did a good job of making him uncomfortable in his first inning of work. We'll see if he settles in after getting a quick first out. Jaron Advincula is the next batter, takes outside 1-0. So Advincula, a .417 hitter, top qualified bat in that category for the Cats so far this season, as the next pitch is down low. 2 balls, no strikes. Has 5 hits and 12 at-bats so far. And this will be his 5th game played. Still looking for another RBI on the year. He has one, has walked once and struck out once. 2-0 pitch bounces in there, and it's 3-0. So just 1 pitch away from accepting that second walk of the summer. Has an on-base percentage above .450. Smith, the windup and the 3-0. Gets over top at 3-1. So that's got to be really nice for Mike Roberts to have a guy at the 9 hole who is able to get on base at such a high clip.
Advincula sort of acts like a second leadoff hitter for Mike Roberts. You have a guy who consistently gets on base. You know you can trust on him. And of course, you have guys like Naraki at the top.
Smacks it on the ground towards third again. Cuvée, playing up on the grass, has it and throws to first in time for the second straight 5-3 putout to start off this second. So after Smith walked the first 2 batters he faced in the first, has drawn weak contact against the 2 he's started off against in this second inning.
Smith fell behind in the count 3-0 and just put a pitch over it and moved the count to 3-1, and then got Advincula just to chop it hard on the ground. So back-to-back groundouts for Smith here in the top of the second.
So lineup card flips back to the top for Nolan Naraki. Takes up an inside. One that he had to move his hands to the sky for to get out of the way of, and the count's 1-0. So he walked his first time up in the first inning, came around to score on A.J. Gracia's single. From the right side, he waves that black bat just in front of his right shoulder. The 1-0 pitch from Smith is a breaking ball low and inside, 2-0. So how about this start to the summer for Nolan Naraki? A .400 hitter so far, is 2 for 5. Driven in a pair of RBIs as well. Actually a .500 hitter with the performance that he had last night, did Naraki. Continues to tear the cover off the ball and making a difference already today, scoring that first run. Next pitch was a strike. The 2-1 pitch from Smith goes into the windup. Here it comes. Fastball hit hard on the ground just beyond third base and foul.
Naraki had a pair of singles last night to begin his night. It was 2 for 2. Also had a sacrifice in that bottom of the 7th, and just putting together a lot of quality at-bats is the newcomer, Nolan Naraki.
2-2 the count to him against Darian Smith, who's a strike away of from completing his second inning of work, and now the next pitch is rolled towards the Brewster dugout, and it hits off the front netting again. A bit weaker of a ground ball this time, so they had a bit more time to get out of the way, did Brewster. The rest of the Whitecaps team off to a 3-3 start. 2-game winning streak both of these teams are on as Naraki digs in his second plate appearance of the day in the second inning. 2-2 pitch from Smith. Breaking ball, he reaches out over the plate, lines it towards second, and Fisher handles that for out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down go the Kets in the top of the second. Headed to the bottom half of this frame. Brewster coming up to bat after this on the Kets Radio Network. For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services.
Bottom of the second inning, Kettleers leading 1-0 on the Kets Radio Network. Ben Jacobs is back out onto the mound for his second inning of work. Kets went 3 up, 3 down in the road half of this inning, and now the first pitch he throws is upstairs to the leadoff man for Brewster, Andrew Fisher. Fisher, a left-handed bat out of Ole Miss, gets his first looks against Ben Jacobs. Working from the stretch with the glove just above his belt, throws a fastball upstairs for ball 2. So he falls behind 2-0, and that's really the problems that he ran into in the first inning despite not giving up any hits.
Jacobs was consistently falling behind hitters, but did a good job to battle back in these at-bats and retire their side with relatively weak contact.
2-0 pitch from Jacobs. It's a big swing and a miss there from Fisher, and it's 2-1. Jacobs coming off a year at Arizona State where he made 20 appearances, 10 starts, had a 4.75 ERA, going 7-3 for the Sun Devils. And now after that big swing from Fisher, he's going to go reapply some pine tar or whatever that spray is that he's putting on the handle of his bat. So is that the new pine tar?
I think it might be. Yeah.
He does have some pine tar just above the handle of that bat, so maybe a mix of both for Fisher. Ole Miss product. And now he's back in the box, ready to face this 2-1 pitch from Jacobs. Fastball is upstairs, 3-1. 282 hitter this past season was Fisher at Ole Miss, transferred from Duke. Was a second-team freshman All-American at Duke, and then transferred to SEC play, where he had a good year for Ole Miss and takes a big hack at the next pitch, and it's 3-2. A 624 slugging percentage, 17 bombs with 44 RBIs that Fisher had. A seamless transition for him. The all-white batting gloves, waves the bat above that navy blue helmet for Brewster, and the 3-2 pitch from Jacobs is a fastball hammered into center field. And an easy play for Kian Vu as he gets under it and has it there for out number 1. So a medium depth flyout gets Andrew Fisher for 1 out in the bottom of the 2nd.
Once again, another at bat where Jacobs fell behind and the count was down in the count 3-1 and just battled back, really relying on the fastball there and just got Fisher to elevate one, but the medium depth in center field and routine play for Vu.
First pitch to Nick Dumanil is low and outside, tipped into the glove of Grant Jay for strike 1. Jacobs finishing his sophomore season at Arizona State as he throws one that misses the glove of Grant Jay and goes back to the backstop. So 1-1. That was after making 7 appearances with 1 start as a freshman at UCLA in 2023. Decided to transfer to Arizona State. Went 0-1 at UCLA with a 9 ERA. Really struggled in those 7 appearances. But a great start to the season and a great start to his college career that he had as the next pitch is fouled off the end of the bat of Dumanil, 1-2. He did not allow a run in his first 4 outings. Made his first start on March 28th, a midweek game at Cal State Fullerton. And that was when the runs started to come across when Jacobs was on the mound. 4 earned runs on 5 hits and just 2 innings pitched, but was still able to get a season high and 3 strikeouts. The 1-2 pitch from Jacobs is fanned at and missed for strike 3. Nick Dumanil goes down on strikes, and it's the 3rd strikeout of the day for Ben Jacobs.
Jacobs has had the strikeout pitch working. 3 strikeouts, like you mentioned, all 3 swinging, and this last one, really pretty breaking pitch that Dumanil just chased down in the dirt, and 2 quick outs for Jacobs.
We'll see how long Jacobs goes into this game as well as into the summer. He comes set for the first pitch against Tyler Petterini. The Oklahoma State middle infielder takes a strike down in the zone, 0-1. Oklahoma State, wrong OSU there. Ohio State, Petterini is from. 307 hitter in 56 games for the Buckeyes this past season. Pair of OSU guys in this lineup today. Nolan Schubert, Oklahoma State. We saw him last inning. Worked to walk, the only base runner that's got on Ben Jacobs so far today. And with 2 gone, even up the count at 1-1 to Petterini. Cool bat Petterini has too.
Nice
Navy
light blue.
Yeah, navy blue at the handle and then a gradient up to the light blue part of the barrel. 2-1 the count now.
Wonder if he has a similar bat at the collegiate level with Ohio State colors. Could be something to look into.
Yeah, you think maybe a silver and red or scarlet, excuse me. Next pitch is fouled off over the first base side, 2-2. Ben Jacobs with the invitation to play for Team USA this summer. If he's able to make that squad, he'd be ASU's 43rd player to play for the team. 2-2 pitch is fanned at and missed, strike 3. So 2 strikeouts in the bottom of the 2nd inning. 3 up, 3 down go the Whitecaps, and a 1-0 lead as we go into the top of the 3rd. So more on Ben Jacobs and his career as we move into this 3rd frame. But before then, we're going to check in for the first time with our sideline reporter, Adele Huffman.
Hey, thanks, Joe. I just want to mention how Cotuit is usually a June dominant team. Usually a team to start off strong in June, but not so dominant this year. This year sitting at 3 wins, 3 losses. The worst start we've had since 2016. The Cats are 33-17 in the month of June, looking back to 2021. But good news, the last time the Cats saw a losing record in June, we won the championship. So I'm looking forward to seeing if we can just run that back this year.
Yeah, it wasn't the start to the season that the Cats wanted, but Mike Roberts was talking a lot with you, Adele, about how you just can't get too high or too low on these first few games of the year, and I think you're definitely seeing things get a lot better in these past 2 games.
Yeah, you've seen this offense come alive, especially with that 18-4 victory just a couple of nights ago. This is a Cotuit team. You play 40 games this summer. Of course, you can't get too high or too low. That's just the ebbs and flows of the game of baseball. And Mike Roberts knows that he's been coaching for a long time. He's going to have his team playing right. And you started to see them put together a lot of quality at bats over the last few games and playing sound defense.
Yeah, that defense I think goes overlooked a lot. And this team has played really solid defense, and I think that's a big reason as to why these pitchers have gotten a big boost. But Adele, I mean, a record like that in June can seem not so promising, but I think that hopefully, with that information you just said, a lot of fans' worries can maybe be put to rest. So thank you for that great information, Adele. The Kettleers trying to improve upon that June record so far, 3-3. Devin Taylor will dig in to start off this top of the third inning. Darian Smith out there and goes into his long windup and throws. A breaking ball down low beneath the knees of Taylor, 1-0. Middle infielders are playing back. Karsten Sabathia close to the line at third. Third baseman is even with the bag. That's Cuvée. Maybe a couple steps back of it. And now the next pitch misses outside to Taylor, 2-0. Taylor with a home run so far this season. One that came at Orleans in game 2 of the 24 campaign, and now he takes a strike on the outer corner, 2-1. Smith ready. With the teal glove, he throws. 2-1 pitch is at the knees of Taylor, this time called a ball 3. Taylor with a 300 average so far this year, accepted a walk his last time up, and now the 3-1 pitch is a similar location to the last one and called a strike 2. That one at 90 miles an hour from Darian Smith on that sinker. He takes a deep breath with the teal glove above his belt. He'll bring it back behind his head over that navy blue cap as he finds his foot on the rubber, and the 3-2 pitch is low and inside. They check with the base umpire at third. Taylor didn't go, and he's on his way to first with back-to-back walks.
It's nearly the first strikeout of the ball game for the Cats, but Darian Smith continuing to struggle with control here. His third free pass issued, second to Taylor, like you mentioned, and saw walks come back to bite him in the top of the first with Naraki and Taylor working walks. Naraki came around to score. Let's see if it could have a similar effect for the Cats here in the third.
Smith facing Nathan Hall as he takes low and outside, 1-0. This is a Brewster offense that's really come alive in the last few games, Alex, as we mentioned in the last inning. 22-8, they've outscored their opponents, and now a mound visit there with Smith, the pitching coach, and the catcher. But that average up to 247, sixth in the league, on base percentage at 374. They lead the Cape Cod Baseball League with 34 walks. But on the other side, pitching has kind of been the struggle for the Whitecaps as they are ninth in ERA at 5.72. They've thrown the second most innings in the league, and they have also issued the second most walks. And we are seeing plenty more of that today.
We've seen a lot of walks. It's a smart decision by the catcher and the pitching coach to come out, make sure you're on the same page with Darian Smith, who has really struggled with control, and that's not something that you saw during his collegiate season at Southeastern. In 96 and a third innings pitched, walked just 21 batters, struck out 130, really had a lot of success as he had a perfect 12-0 record, 1.87 ERA, but he has struggled so far this summer, issued 4 free passes in the first start against Bourne, and has not had that control that he had during his collegiate season here today.
And of course, coming off a summer in the Valley League, you had the opportunity to watch him a good amount.
Split time between Brewster and in Charlottesville, and that was where he struggled with walks again. There was a ball here against Nathan Hall as he's up in the count 2-0, but in Charlottesville last year, through 9 2/3 innings pitched, walked 11 batters, and came to Brewster, also walked 4 batters in 4 appearances, so has not had the control over in his summer leagues.
Yeah, one of those appearances against the Kettleers as he checks out first at Devin Taylor. The count is 2-0 to Nathan Hall. He reached on a fielder's choice in the first. He was then stranded on third as the Kettleers were able to bring 1 run home. And now he awaits the 2-0 pitch. Taylor takes an extra step of a lead and now has to dive back to the bag as they check back there again. And wisely by Smith as that pitch clock read 2 seconds. So Hall off to an incredible start. 556 hitter through these first 2 games. 2-0 pitch. Fastball, it takes a big cut looking towards that left field fence after he misses the 2-1 fastball. And now the count is 2-1. Roberts giving signs from his third base coaching side on the Brewster side. Pitcher sitting in lawn chairs far down that left field line where it's 315 to the left field corner. Not too deep to center as it kind of flattens out as the next pitch is down low, 3-1. .395 to straightaway center though. Scoreboard just above left field, right past where the left fielder is standing, Schubert, and now they'll check back at first again, and Taylor has to dive in once more. So the count is still 3-1 to Nathan Hall, but they're spending a lot of attention to Devin Taylor at first.
Smith keeping a close eye on Taylor. That's the third pickoff move this at bat is Taylor still with a small lead over at first.
Hammered on the ground towards third, diving stab by Cotuit, and he's getting up trying to throw to first. It's not going to be in time as Hall is able to beat it up that first base line, and they'll have runners on first and second.
Cotuit did a really nice dive down the third base line just to keep that ball in the infield and nearly had a play on it just when he was trying to transfer the ball from his glove to his hand, popped out, and that allows Hall to reach.
So Hall stands at first, Taylor at second, A.J. Gracia the batter. Fastball low and outside called strike 1. Gracia an RBI single his last time up. Put one between the shortstop and third baseman. Was able to bring home Nolan Naraki. Now an opportunity to drive in some more runs here. Kettleers leading 1-0, 3 hits on the board so far. Smith looks back at second, now the 0-1 is outside. So Hall reaches first, that did go down as a single. And the third on the day for the Kettleers. A tough play it would have been for Daniel Cotuit, even if he was able to keep a good grip on the ball as he ropes one foul, does Gracia, and he sends the count to 1-2. All blue batting gloves for Gracia. Blue elbow guard with blue cleats. Going along with that maroon red jersey for the Kettleers. The ball was staying on the playing surface down the right field line. Someone grabbed it, and we're ready to go for this 1-2 pitch. Gracia from the left side, an upright batting stance. The all-tan bat waves above his left shoulder. Smith takes a look at second, takes another look as Taylor extends his lead, and Gracia goes down on strikes for the first time today. First strikeout of the game for Darian Smith, and it probably couldn't have come at a better time so far.
Smith really dialed it up on the radar gun there. Pitch came in at 93 miles an hour and just blew it past Gracia. And it's a big strikeout with runners on first and second and no outs. Needed an out in that inning and just rears back and lets one fly for the first out.
Has the glove in front of his chest, and he'll throw back. Devin Taylor had an 8-step lead at second. His second baseman, Andrew Fisher, received that. Fisher plays at second, Tyler Petterini at short. Karsten Sabathia is the first baseman, not holding the runner on there. Infield playing relatively straight up with runners on first and second for Tyler Cerny. Breaking ball, he watches it go by low and outside, 1-0. Cerny 333 so far this summer. Had a lot of hits this past season at Indiana as he sends a one-hopper high end into the Whitecaps dugout. Look out over there as it hits above the netting that's above the dugout and then fell straight inside of it. They have a big Roll Caps poster along in front of the grandstand just next to their dugout. That's a pretty cool look. Fans sitting just above that. And their new Brewster logo with the B with the wave just to the left of it, breaking over the top of the letter. Really solid color scheme and logo for Brewster.
I like the logo. It definitely is nice. Like the wave, it looks very, very clean.
Very similar to the Seattle Mariners colors. And the next pitch is up high to Tyler Cerny, 2-1. Not to be confused with the Mariners of Harwich, though, division rival for the Whitecaps. Harwich is currently playing against YD right now in the bottom of the second. 2-1 pitch is hammered on the ground towards third. Up with it, Cotuit, chucking it to second, but it goes into right field. Taylor will come around and score from third. Hall moves up to third, and the Kettleers have a 2-0 lead. So a throwing error on the infield by Daniel Cotuit, who's played a really solid third base so far today, but an uncharacteristic fielding mistake there brings home the second run for the Kets.
And those are the miscues that can really come back and bite you. As Cotuit makes a nice stop, just didn't plant his feet and fire that ball into right field. That's something that the Cats have done a good job is capitalizing on teams' errors as they push across another run and now have a 2-run advantage.
Kian Vu is the batter with the runners on the corners and one gone. Corners are playing up, middle infielders back, looking to turn two, with Cerny taking his lead at first, Hall at third. Vu lays down the bunt. It's barely foul down the first base line. Kian Vu popped out to short his first time up. And that was an opportunity he had with a couple of runners in scoring position. The bases were juiced for the Cats in that first inning. And now Vu with another opportunity here. Batting from the left side, has the barrel of that bat pointed down towards the dirt behind his left shoulder, and now he shows bunt. The 0-1 pitch is rolled down the first base line and 3 feet foul. So 0-2 the count now to Vu. Likely takes away that bunt threat.
You see the third baseman Cotuit back up from onto the dirt now, was playing up on the grass to prevent the bunt attempt.
Vu is back in the lineup, a 182 hitter so far this year for the Kets. Smith checks at first, dug out of the dirt by Sabathia, and Cerny's back in there standing up. So see a lot of times the pickoff mood towards first, trying to keep the runner honest, trying to maybe get him out sometimes, but it's also to buy the pitcher some time with that new pitch clock. He throws to first again, 5 seconds are on the clock, and Cerny's back in standing. So still navigating and trying to find the right pitch here to throw to Kian Vu, who's down in the count 0-2. Corner infielders pinching the bag at second. Cotuit playing far off the line at third. Smith from the stretch, nods up and down once. The 0-2 is a fastball tipped into the glove of the catcher. He squeezes around it, does Cueto, and Kian Vu goes down on strikes for the first time today. Second of the day for Darian Smith, and there's 2 gone.
When Smith is needed and out, he's really dialed it up on the radar gun, going back 93 miles an hour, just blowing it past Vu for the second out.
Here's another 2-out opportunity for Grant J. He digs in from the right side. Cerny takes off at first. Fake throw from behind the plate by Cueto. He looks the runner back to third, and the Cats will have runners on second and third with 2 gone. So an uncontested stolen base there for Tyler Cerny, and the Cats total is up to 8 on the summer. Whitecaps leading the league in that category with 17 stolen bases. Second and third for Grant J. 0-1 pitch. Fastball, he fans through it for strike 2. So got to like the aggressiveness from Grant J when he's been up at the plate. Couple big hacks the last time he was up, but he went down to end that first inning. Infield and outfield playing him straight up. The runners take their leads from second and third, and Smith is ready. The 0-2. Taken in the dirt, and a nice block by Cueto to keep it in front. with Nathan Hall just 90 feet away, less than that as he was getting deep into his secondary.
It was a big block by Cueto there, and we talked about it being a short backstop here in Brewster as Hall got a good jump. Would have been interesting to see if the ball got away from Cueto, if Hall would have came home.
Smith now with the 1-2. Jay fouls it straight back and stays alive. Cloudy skies overhead, trees lining the outfield fences here at Stony Brook Field. The runners are on second and third for Grant Jay, who's down in the count 1-2. The offering from Smith is low and outside. So 2-2 the count to Jay. Nice job by him to battle back in this count.
He fell behind quickly, 0-2. Fouled off a tough pitch from Smith here, and this is what we've seen Cotuit do over the last 2 games, and especially on this winning streak, work long at bats.
Jay, a good AB here, trying to extend it as the 2-2 pitch is hit high into center field. A lazy fly for Dumanil to field, and he dropped the ball. 1 run is in. The next one is in, and the Kettleers have a 4-0 lead. How about that?
And Dumanin just got underneath it, thought he had it in his glove, and he just dropped the ball. Give credit to the Kettleers base runners for running all the way on the play. Is back-to-back or 2 errors in this inning lead to the Kettleers scoring runs, and just a boneheaded mistake by the center fielder.
So we talked about the great fielding that the Kettleers have had these past few games. The Whitecaps also have in their past few games. A big reason as to why they've won 2 straight. But already 2 errors in this inning, and the Kettleers have brought home 4 runs. They lead it 4-0 in the top of the third, 3 of which have come home in this top of the third. But 2 errors, one by the third baseman Cotuit that brought home a run, Devin Taylor from second, and now 2 more that come in off of a fielding miscue by the center fielder. A 1-0 count to Tanner Thatch. Darian Smith hasn't gotten too much help from his infield and outfield as the 1-0 pitch is swatted through the right side of the infield, and a base hit for Tanner Thatch. That's just great to see for Thatch, who's been putting a charge into a lot of baseballs these past few games, but just hasn't been able to find those holes in the infield. That time he does, and he extends the inning. The Kettleers will have runners on first and second with 2 gone.
Thatch, before this at-bat, was hitting just 125, but really squared up on that ball and roped it down the first base line, and that's exactly what you want to see if you're Tanner Thatch, getting out in front on a pitch and making solid contact.
Ian Vu is the batter. This is actually Jaron Advincula, the 9-man in the order, batting after Tanner Thatch, who's on first. Grant Jay is on second. Can't forget that Advincula is the 9-man, bookending this lineup for Coach Roberts, doing a really nice job to send things to the top half of the order, and he has done so beautifully. He's 0 for 1 today so far, though, grounded out to third his first time up. Advincula awaits the next pitch from Smith, who comes set with the teal glove in front of his chest, takes a look at Jay at second, and now the fastball is sent on a twisting pop-up down the left field line and out of play. So overcast skies overhead here. There was a slight chance of rain in the forecast, Alex, but so far it is holding off. But Brewster being shielded by these thick overcast clouds. A gray day here, and probably a reason as to why Dumanil had trouble locating that pop-up in center. Next pitch is roped on the ground by Advincula, but foul. 1-2 to the Cal second baseman. Advincula with runners on first and second and 2 gone. Darian Smith is ready. 4-0, the Cats lead it. The 1-2. He gets underneath it, pops it up on the infield. Cotuit backing up onto the outfield grass, and he has it. for out number 3. So the Quetzal Strand runners on first and second take advantage of a couple of fielding mistakes by the Whitecaps. They score 3 in the top of the third. Take a 4-0 lead. We send it to the home half of the third with the Brewster Whitecaps coming up after this on the Cats Radio Network.
With 30-plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Willowbend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willowbend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at Willowbend.
Back from Stony Brook Field, Stetson catcher will lead off for the Whitecaps. Gio Cueto, the 8-man in this Brewster lineup. 8, 9, and 1. Jacobs will face in the bottom of the third. Now pitching with a 4-0 lead. The first pitch is a fastball up high. Draws a big swing and miss from Cueto. 0-1. So we were talking about last inning. Jacobs moved from UCLA to Arizona State and now has a chance to play on Team USA's collegiate team this summer. A collection of the top non-draft eligible players in all of college baseball. And now he dials in a fastball low in the zone at 0-2. So more to what Adele was talking about a couple innings ago about how the Kettleers have been able to maintain a really strong June record since 2021. It's important to note that that's since the draft got moved back from the beginning of June. The 0-2 pitch is fouled straight back off the bat of Cueto. It's still 0-2. So definitely a lot more turnover these past few years, and for the Kettleers to be able to have a really strong roster in June, but to also carry that into July, that has been the struggle. Jacobs ready with the 0-2, the glove just above his belt. Cueto awaits and goes after a fastball up and away for strike 3. Fourth strikeout of the day for Ben Jacobs. And that starts off this bottom of the third inning.
3 consecutive strikeouts for Jacobs. Got Duminil and Petterini to strike out, swinging to end the bottom of the second, and then starts off the bottom of the third with the swinging K of Cueto.
Yeah, so it was 2 strikeouts in the first, 2 in the second, and now 1 here in the third. So up to 5 strikeouts, actually, Jacobs is. First pitch, breaking ball down low to Karsten Sabathia, 1-0. Jacobs throwing to Sabathia for the first time. Sabathia playing on the Vineyard last summer, faced the Kettleers in the scrimmage. And now he backs up off the plate, count 2-0 to him.
Also played 2 regular season games for the Vineyard this year. It was 2 for 8, drew 3 walks, then came over to Brewster, where he's still looking for his first hit this summer.
Yeah, he was supposed to be on this roster last summer, only played for the Sharks though, and now he takes up and inside at 2-1. Of course, being the son of longtime MLB left-hand pitcher CC Sabathia, pretty cool for you to be seeing his son play, being a Yankees fan yourself.
Definitely is cool to see. I grew up watching CC Sabathia and heard a lot about Karsten, and he's put together a really good high school career. Is coming in as the number 3 first baseman in the country.
And now ahead in the count 3-0. Another one of these Brewster Whitecaps with a really cool design on the bat. That looks like a navy blue handle of the bat. Goes out about halfway. There's a small white line to separate the teal barrel. And the 3-1 pitch rattles the cage of Grant J, and it's 3-2. Fouled it straight back off of the mask of J. Looks like he's all right, though.
Sabathia took a healthy cut out of that and went straight into the mask of J and appears to be okay.
Jay bringing home 2 runs last inning on a fielding mistake by Brewster. 2 runs came in to score on an error by the center fielder, and the Kets lead it 4-0. The 3-2 pitch to Sabathia is hit on the ground, straight back to Jacobs. Glove down, and now throwing from the third base side of the rubber in time at first for out number 2.
Jacobs is getting quick and easy contact there. Ran the fastball in on Sabathia's hands as he chopped it right back to him as Jacobs fields his position cleanly and makes the throw in time to nab Sabathia at first.
Now the top of the lineup, J.D. Rogers digs in. Jacobs' first pitch goes straight by his bat. Can't catch up to the 83-mile-an-hour breaking ball. 0-1. Nice pitch there from Jacobs. As mentioned, last inning would be the 43rd Arizona State Sun Devil to play for the collegiate team. Team USA joining Spencer Torkelson, Dustin Pedroia, among other names, who went to Arizona State. The team features 56 non-draft eligible players who play an intra-squad series, so against one another in June. Next pitch misses low. It's 1-1. Then they split into 2 rosters. One goes to the International Friendship Series. They'll play Chinese Taipei in a 5-game set. And then the other roster goes on a Summer League tour. They play against select teams in the Appalachian League, the Coastal Plains League. 4 total games. Next pitch bounces in, and it's 2-1. Then both teams will return to North Carolina on the 4th of July and play against each other. Another intra-squad game in Cary, North Carolina. So Ben Jacobs will hopefully have an opportunity to play for one of those rosters this summer. But of course, playing for the Kets right now in his second start, and now the count evens up at 2-2 on J.D. Rogers. Rogers flew out to center field his first time up in the first. 2 gone already in this bottom of the third, with the Kets leading 4-0. 4 runs on 4 hits, no errors for the Kets, no runs, no hits, 2 errors for the Whitecaps. Rogers, the lefty, awaits. Jacobs throws a breaking ball. Slow roller on the ground up the middle. Cerny trying to barehand it. He can't get it. Slippery ball pops out of his hands. And what would have been a really tough play, even if that play was able to be made by Cerny. Rogers is able to pick up the first base hit of the day for the Whitecaps.
Cerny cut across second base there, tried to go with the bare hand, just slipped off of his hand. It would, like you mentioned, Joe, would have been a tough play as Rogers busting it out of the box and 2-out hit. Let's see what Brewster can do here with 2 outs in the inning.
Another 2-out base runner for the Whitecaps, the second base run of the game that they've had. Jacobs will check on Rogers there at first. He's back in standing up. Nolan Schubert was the first batter to reach in the first inning. But then Jacobs was able to retire 6 straight batters, and now facing Ryder Helfrich. The first pitch he throws to him is an 89-mile-an-hour fastball, called a strike 1. Jacobs comes set, still overcast overhead here at Stony Brook Field. The runner takes off from first. A slow tapper up the first base line is foul, though. Rogers will return to the bag at first. And this is a Whitecaps team who gets a lot of stolen bases. Jamie Shevchik being really aggressive on the base paths. And we just recently saw Rogers take off there.
There's a lot of speed at the top of this order. Rogers with 4 stolen bases. Helfrich, he has 3, so 7 across the top 2 hitters in this Brewster lineup.
Helfrich 0 for 1 with a strikeout. The 0-2 pitch from Jacobs, up and away. It's a good effort from Jay, though. Really trying to stick these pitches on the corners. Saw him try to frame that one at the top of the zone. He's unable to get the call, though. Jacobs set, takes a look at first, and the lefty will throw there. Tanner Thatch places the tag on the runner Rogers, who's back in there on the bag, standing up. Advincula playing closer to second than the shortstop Cerny, playing slightly to the pull side for Ryder Helfrich out of Arkansas. Check back at first again. Count 1-2 to Helfrich. Swinging K his last time up. Coming off a season at Arkansas where he had 84 ABs and hit 179. And now 4 for 17 on the summer. Jacobs 1-2 is up high, not even close, and it's 2-2. So Jacobs still 1 strike away from getting out of this bottom of the third. 1 hit on the board for Brewster, and the runner takes off as he picks off to Thatch. Thatch trying to make the throw to second, but nobody was covering the bag, and Rogers advances there with 2 gone.
The speed of Rogers coming into play there is a miscommunication between Cerny and Advincula as no one covered the bag. Thatch was ready to make the throw, but Rogers easily takes second.
2-2, the count remains to Ryder Helfrich. Now a runner in scoring position for Brewster, their first of the day. The 2-2 pitch is fouled straight back. It's a good battle put together here by Helfrich, even despite all the pickoffs.
5 pitches so far, a couple of foul balls in this at-bat as Jacobs' pitch count continues to rise. This upcoming pitch will be his 60th so far.
And we'll see how far Coach Roberts lets him go in this one. Just 2 innings at Orleans last week in his first start. The 2-2 pitch is hit hard into the left center field gap, going back on it, hauled, and he goes into a dive and makes the play. Having a lunge to his left to get it. Hall flags that down with a runner in scoring position for the Whitecaps. That ends the bottom of the third inning. Kettleers protecting a 4-0 lead as we go to the top of the fourth on the Ketts Radio Network.
Willow Bend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399. Nolan Naraki will lead off the top of the fourth inning for the Kettleers. They have 4 runs on 4 hits and have taken advantage of a couple of fielding mistakes by the Whitecaps, as 3 of those runs unearned. The first pitch is up and inside to Nolan Naraki and called to strike 1. So the infield will be playing straight up for Naraki, who walked his last time up in the first inning. 0-1 pitch is hit hard on the ground just to the left of Mike Roberts, so about 20 feet in foul ground. Naraki way ahead of that pitch. And a stellar start to his campaign so far with the Kettleers. Facing Darian Smith, who's back out there for his 4th inning of work, pitching to the .444 hitting Nolan Naraki. 0-2. Reaches out over the plate and pushes it above the second baseman into right field. Charging in is J.D. Rogers, and he makes the play in front of the navy blue cap. Is able to flag that down on the run for out number 1.
Now batting the designated hitter from Indiana.
Smith's pitch count continues to rise. He's at 78, but in his first start against Bourne, where he went 4 1/3 innings pitched, he threw 84 pitches, so definitely like to get a lot of length and pitches out of your starter.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see how long Ben Jacobs will go in this game for Cotuit. Just finished his 3rd inning of work, throwing just above 60 pitches. Devin Taylor is the batter. The first pitch is a fastball at ankle height for ball 1. Taylor batting .300 on the young season. 2 walks already accepted today. Scored a run as the leadoff batter last inning. 1-0 pitch is inside. He backs up off the plate from it, but the count evens up at 1-1. He wasn't quite happy with that call, and you know, when a guy who can draw walks as efficiently as Devin Taylor is and is mad about a strike call, you wonder if maybe he's right, because a guy who can really see the ball really well, and he takes another ball in the dirt there at 2-1.
Smith located that pitch on the inside corner of the plate. So, could have been a ball in Taylor's eyes.
2-1 pitch, bounces in again, and he's ahead 3-1. So a scary bat to have to pitch to for Darian Smith. Against a guy in Devin Taylor, who led the team this year at Indiana with a .357 batting average. And now he reaches base for the 3rd time today, his 3rd straight walk. So another free pass for Devin Taylor.
The left fielder from Clemson for 21, Nathan Hall.
And Nathan Hall will dig in for the Kets with 1 gone.
Taylor's done a nice job not expanding the zone against Smith, as Smith has had a couple of close calls, but Taylor hasn't budged, and just such a patient hitter, working those 3 walks.
Nathan Hall, the righty, takes a fastball low and outside, called strike 1. Hall appearing in just 12 games this past season at Clemson.
She sent it, fire.
22 at-bats, 5 hits, one of which was a double. Worked 4 walks. Hall takes strike 2. But even with that small sample size, able to make a difference, worked 4 walks. 4 for 4 in stolen bases. And now Darian Smith thinking that's what Devin Taylor's going to try to do on him. As he checks back at first, he's back in standing up. Taylor was able to get into scoring position his last time up and scored a run. Smith comes set. Doesn't take a look at first as he deals home. A breaking ball blocked by the catcher. Cueto keeps it in front, and the count is now 1-2. Big stop there from Cueto, especially with the amount of attention they've paid to Taylor at first in back-to-back innings. Already waiting for the 1-2 from Smith. Checks first and now throws home. A fastball. Hall checks his swing. They'll appeal down to the first base ump. He did go, and down goes Nathan Hall on strikes for the first time today. So Hall falls back to 1 for 3, and here's A.J. Gracia, who's 1 for 2.
Hall tried to hold up on that breaking pitch from Smith, but just was 2 out in front and could not check his swing in time.
Now Gracia will be the batter. A wide open stance from the left side of the box, and it gets away from the catcher Cueto. Back to the backstop, and Devin Taylor easily moves up into scoring position with 2 gone. Gracia out of high school was chosen as the NewJersey.com State Baseball Player of the Year in 2023. As a senior in high school, he raked .500 in 2023, .496 on base with a slugging percentage at 1.103. And was the leadoff batter for his high school. Now he takes inside. It's 2-0. Also had an opportunity to pitch in high school, did Gracia, at a 2.68 ERA across 44 1/3 innings pitched. Did it all, and needless to say, was well deserving of that New Jersey State Baseball Player of the Year. The next pitch misses up and away, and he's ahead in the count 3-0. And his coach in high school was asked about why he was batting in the leadoff spot. Pat Garoni said, batting in leadoff is a great move because it's an immediate problem for the pitching staff, an immediate problem for the other team. Now batting in the heart of this Kettleers lineup, and has been a problem for Darian Smith, as now the count is 3-1. Gracia drove home the first run of this ball game in the top of the first, took a 1-0 lead. Kettleers tallied on 3 more in the top of the third, and they lead it 4-0. Runner on second with 2 gone as Darian Smith comes set, and the 3-2-3-1 pitch to Gracia is down in the dirt, and he accepts ball 4. So reaches for the second time today and maintains a solid day at the plate at 1 for 2, now with a free pass.
Now batting.
Smith was trying to locate that fastball on the inside part of the plate. That just missed too far low and inside. Is 2 walks so far in this inning, 5 on the game.
Tyler Cerny digs in from the right side. All red batting gloves, matching the Kets uniform today, and he pops one up on the infield. Charging in the shortstop Petterini. Just behind the mound and in the infield grass, he leans back and receives out number 3. So the Kettleers will strand 1 runner in scoring position. That was Devin Taylor, who worked a walk. AJ Grassi also reached base, so 2 left on base for the Kettleers. Still leading 4-0 as we go to the home half of the 4th here on the Kets Radio Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly.
Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
Oklahoma State, number 15, Nolan Schubert.
Nolan Schubert will lead things off for the Whitecaps in this bottom of the fourth inning, with the Kettleers leading 4-0. Thank you for tuning in to the Kets Radio Network. Joe Pratt, Alex Rocco, and Adele Huffman are with you. And a new pitcher is on for the Kettleers. His first appearance for the Pinstripes this summer. Brings the black glove in front of his face and throws a fastball down low in the zone. Called the ball 1. Joey Volchko out of Stanford and Torrance, California, gets his first appearance in relief for the Kettleers. 6'4", 205-pound righty. High leg kick, he moves home. And the next pitch at 96 miles an hour bounces in there, 2-0.
It's a lot of heat from the tall righty, and tossed 42 and 2/3 innings pitched at Stanford, and saw the strikeout numbers, 53 Ks in those 42 1/3 innings, but also walked 38 batters.
2-0 pitch is hit hard into straightaway center field. That finds the gap. Kian Vu giving chase deep into the alleyway. Schubert rounding first. He will head into second, standing up with a leadoff double. So he welcomes Joey Volchko into this game. And the Whitecaps will put their second runner in scoring position with nobody gone in this bottom of the fourth.
Volchko just left that pitch right over the heart of the plate, and Schubert made no mistake lining that into the left center field gap for the two-bagger to begin the inning.
Now the cleanup man in the order, Daniel Cuvée, struck out swinging against Ben Jacobs his last time up. First pitch he sees from Volchko is a breaking ball low and outside, perfectly placed for strike 1. Volchko now working from the stretch. He comes ready. 0-2 pitch is hit hard down the first base line. Look out, Mike Roberts. Straight at that screen that protects the bat boys, so right beyond the Kettleers on deck circle. Mike Roberts standing alongside all the bat boys there. He's got a big smile on his face as that one nearly hit off of his coaching helmet. 0-2 pitch falls straight down the middle, and a nice breaking ball for strike 3. It locks up Daniel Cuvée, and Joey Volchko has his first strikeout as a Kettleer.
Pretty off-speed pitch from Volchko there. Got Cuvée looking as it just cut right toward his knees. An absolute dart from the right arm of Volchko.
Volchko was a really productive high school player. Went to Redwood High School in Visalia, California. Absolutely dominant. 4-0 record with a 0.26 ERA in 27 innings. His first pitch to the next batter, Andrew Fisher out of Ole Miss, is taken outside for strike 1 at 96 miles per hour. In those 27 innings as a senior, 67 punch-outs. Was named East Yosemite League's most valuable player. The 0-1 pitch is down at the knees and barely called a ball 1. That one just missed. That information on Volchko's high school career coming from a Baseball America website written by Peter Flaherty back in September of 2023. So go check that out at baseballamerica.com. 1-1 pitch from Volchko is a fastball just beneath the knees and called to strike 2. That's interesting, as the previous pitch looked to be a bit closer to being a strike than that one, but home plate umpire J.C. Fernandez makes this count 1-2. So the batter is Andrew Fisher. He flew out to center field his last time up. Volchko takes a look at second, now throws home a breaking ball that finds the dirt, and it's 2-2. You like to see that, though, from Grant Jay, pointing out to his pitcher, saying, Even though that one was a ball and it missed, it's still a really nice pitch.
That's nearly an unhittable pitch. 96 right at the knees. All you can do on that pitch is hit it on the ground, and Volchko got the batter Fisher to look at it, but really impressive stuff.
Here's the 2-2. In off the hands of Fisher, and it twists out of play.
Just because they're probably going to call it. I'd rather miss.
Volchko spins the baseball in his bare right hand, has an all-black mitt that he puts above his belt for this 2-2 pitch as the breaking ball is just outside and the count's full. So taking a bit off at that time at 85 miles an hour to go along with that 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Skies continue to darken here at Stony Brook Field, with the Kettleers leading 4-0 and some raindrops dropping from the thick overcast clouds overhead. Next pitch is a 94-mile-an-hour fastball that's too far outside, and Andrew Fisher drops the bat, heads to first with a 1-out walk.
7-pitch at bat work there by Andrew Fisher results in a walk, and now this is arguably Brewster's top or best opportunity they've had so far in the game. Runners on first and second with just 1 out in the inning.
So with 1 gone, here comes Nick Dumanil, Cal Baptist outfielder, who was 0 for 1 today, swinging strikeout, steps up. And now it looks like we're going to have a change in the hitter here. So pinch hitter for Jamie Shevchik and the Whitecaps. We'll update you on that as this at-bat continues. So he digs in from the right side, facing Joey Volchko, takes a look at second, and now he throws. It's a ball that's tipped into the glove of Grant Jay, and it's 0-1. It is going to be Dumanil, the batter. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. The center fielder takes, and it gets away from Grant Jay. Both runners will move up into scoring position. Barely squeezes out of his glove, low and outside. A nice job there, as those runners on base had no hesitation to advance to second and third. So with 1 gone, a bit of trouble here worked by Joey Volchko, with the Kets leading 4-0, and the rain starting to fall above Stony Brook Field. Volchko comes set. The 1-1 pitch is low and outside, and Jay thought he lost it, but actually a snow cone into his glove, and both runners will have to stay put. It's 2-1.
It's a big block from Jay there. If it goes back to the backstop, you never know. The runner on third, Schubert, could break toward home and plate Brewster's first run of the ball game.
Volchko's 2-1. Catches the outer half at 90. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's 1 gone in the inning, but runners are on second and third. Kettleers still trying to protect this 4-0 lead. 2 hits are on the board for the Whitecaps. And Nick Dumanil with a chance to right his wrong. 2-2 pitch is smacked down the first base line, but foul. So if you remember back in that top of the third inning for the Kettleers, Dumanil dropping an easy fly ball that would have ended that inning. It brought home 2 more runs for the Kets, and they took that 4-0 lead. So an opportunity here to make back those runs right that were lost in the top of the third. It's hit hard on the ground, straight back to Volchko. Glove by his left ear, and he underhand flips to second in time. Relayed by Thatch to second, and the tag is in time. They caught the batter off the bag there. And what a great play by Tanner Thatch and the rest of this Kettleers infield to turn an unconventional double play to end the bottom of the 4th inning. So the Kettleers still hanging on to that 4-0 lead as we go to the 5th. And now we'll check in once again with Adele Huffman.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, let's just talk a little bit about Kian Vu, who is coming back in tonight's play for us. He just finished up his sophomore year at Arizona State, originally from Hawaii. At Arizona State, he is number 11, and he's also number 11 here this summer for Cotuit. This past year at Arizona, he appeared in 47 games with 35 start and 56 RBIs, and he led the Pac-12 with a .413 batting average, the fifth best batting average in the country, along with earning third-team All-American honors. But really what I wanted to mention is his dugout pranks that he has been starting here with Cotuit. Yesterday was his first prank where he put bubble gum on the bottom of a cup, stuck it on a player's head, and walked away. This is all on film, and he's been mic'd up, and it will be posted later, so make sure to stay tuned for that, and we'll see what dugout pranks Boo has up next for us.
That's awesome. So you said put bubble gum on the bottom of a cup and put it on top of a
Head.
a
walk
hat,
away.
a batting
A
helmet,
player's
or a
head.
bare head.
Just a player's head.
Wow.
Don't really know the thought process behind that, but you'll see it later.
Definitely. We'll have to keep up with that. So did he tease any more pranks that he might be playing on these players yet?
He doesn't want to let anyone know what's coming next.
Top
but
secret.
I like
we'll
the
find
surprise
out.
element.
Yeah. Yeah, we will find out, Adele, and hopefully be able to catch up on the Kettleers Instagram and keep up with that. Of course, a great video the other day at Harwich where they called that grand slam by Brandon Compton.
That was such a cool moment, and you just hear the dugout erupt as soon as the ball left Compton's bat. I think it was Vu and Taylor just let out this massive scream, but just keeping it loose, and that could help Cotuit. And you see him on a 2-game win streak. Definitely the pranks and playing better team baseball and getting closer as the summer develops could definitely be a factor in the winning ways.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a good point that you bring up. It's cool to see this team really coming together, not only as players, but also as friends, too. And I think that's really what makes a team so successful, is to have those off-field relationships.
Exactly, Joe. And capitalizing on those moments where you can take a break from the game in order to lock in when it's game time.
And the Kettleers have done just that today. They lead it 4-0, and we move into the top of the 5th inning with Kian Vu leading off for the Kettleers. He is 0 for 2 today. A pop out in the first and a strikeout swinging in the third. Brewster will throw a new arm out there. Jamie Shevchik going to his bullpen for the first time today. Darian Smith's day is done. And now a lefty that the Kettleers will face. Levi Huseman out of Vanderbilt, a 22.5 ERA in this young season. 6 foot 192, and the lefty deals a pitch outside to Vu, 1-0. Lefty on lefty matchup for Kian Vu. 1-0 pitch is fouled straight back off the top of the screen, and it's 1-1.
The second appearance for Huseman this year. Tossed 2 innings in his first outing and got roughed up, allowed 6 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, walked 3, and struck out 3.
Rolled on the ground towards short. 2-hopper into the glove of the charging shortstop Petterini. He throws on the run. It's not in time as Vu beats it out up the first base line for an infield single. So just as the Kettleers led off the first and third innings, they'll put the first runner on base here in the top of the 5th with nobody gone.
The throw from Petterini was up the line a tad. Sabathia came off the bag, tried to put the tag on Vu, but good speed from Vu to hustle out.
Vu still standing on the bag there as Huseman is set with the glove above his belt. The lefty looks at first and now throws. The first pitch fastball just outside to Grant J for ball 1. So talking about Huseman's career so far, already an appearance for the Whitecaps, went 2 innings, gave up 6 runs, 5 of which were earned, walked 3, and struck out 3. The 1-0 is upstairs to Jay. 2 balls, no strikes, and Jay is in the driver's seat. Huseman coming off a summer where he played 5 games and made 4 starts for the Tri-City Chili Peppers in the Coastal Plains League. A 4.63 ERA. Across just over 23 innings for the Chili Peppers, and now he dials in a first pitch strike, or the first strike of the count, to Grant J, and the count is 2-1. Grant J, the power hitting right-handed bat out of DBU. 21 homers this past season for the Patriots, 2 this summer for the Kets. Huseman looks at first, the 2-1. Off the end of the bat of Jay and flared high and out of play right over our right shoulders towards the elementary school. And the count's 2-2. Grant Jay will have to grab some more pine tar, as mentioned. A bit of rain falling down above Stony Brook Elementary and Stony Brook Field. Not too much, though, to put this game into a delay. Just a couple of drizzles. We'll see if it holds off for the rest of this ball game. Kettleers up 4-0, 5 hits on the board, 2 on the board for Brewster. Grant Jay reapplies the pine tar, and he is ready to go for this 2-2 pitch with nobody gone against Huseman. Looks twice at first. Vu takes a short lead. The 2-2 pitch. Jay is ahead of it and rolls it towards the Brewster dugout. Somebody leans over and made a nice grab to field that one with the bare hand. You know, out of all the players in this lineup to field a bare hand ground ball to, it definitely wouldn't be Grant Jay. Scorching ground ball.
Just the velocity that the ball comes off of Jay's bat. I don't think I'd want to stick my hand and try to glove or put my bare hand out and try to field that ball.
Absolutely not. Someone did, though. 2-2. Jay powers one over the fence on the right side. Another foul ball, and it's still 2-2. But that's why they're there, right? Quick, soft hands to receive those hard hit grounders.
Someone has to make the play.
Yeah. Jay has worked a good count here against Levi Huseman, who checks at first, and Kian Vu is back in standing. Huseman transferred from Coastal Carolina after being a freshman there, going 1-4 with a 9.36 ERA. Walked a lot of batters, but had a pretty high strikeout clip. And then transferred this past season to Vanderbilt, where he appeared in 10 games, all in relief, as the next pitch is fouled straight back into the fence by Jay, 90 miles an hour on the gun, and the count is still 2-2.
Four consecutive foul balls from Grant Jay here is putting together a solid at-bat. The 8th pitch of the at-bat coming on the way.
Huseman ready, the 2-2. Breaking ball, Jay takes inside at 76, 3-2. So we had a look there at the slider from Huseman. Also throws a changeup that sits 78 to 82. And a fastball that is in the high 80s to low 90s and can sometimes top out at 95. Unsure if he'll get up to there today, though, with the soggy conditions at Stony Brook Field. He takes time on the bump, steps back of the rubber, and now reapplies that left foot on the third base side. Takes a look at first. Kian Vu with a full count. We'll see if he's going here with nobody gone. The 3-2 to Jay. Jay takes low and inside, ball 4. The runner was going, but it didn't matter as Grant Jay accepts his first walk of the day.
9-pitch at bat from Jay there as Huseman threw him everything that Jay could offer, and nice plate discipline by the catcher. Jay is laying off some tough pitches and working out the walk.
That's the 6th walk of the day for the Kettleers. And now Tanner Thatch with runners on first and second and nobody gone. Fouls it straight back into the net. 0-1 on Thatch, who knocked a single his last time up in the 3rd and is 1 for 2.
Your kid almost grazed my knee for a second.
Huseman working with runners on first and second. Vu with a big lead at second. He looks there, and the 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball that falls just beneath the knees of Thatch. Solid looking pitch that time from Huseman, but he can't get the call. It's 1-1. Working in relief of Darian Smith, who went 4 innings, allowed a run. And the 1-1 pitch to Thatch is in there. Same pitch, this time in the zone, and it's 1-2. Smith gave up 4 runs, 1 of which was earned. Walked 5 and struck out 3. 4 hits given up by these Kettleers batters as well. The 1-2 pitch to Thatch. He slows down the hands and fouls it off above the Brewster dugout. So another breaking ball there, and Thatch really had to slow down to just get a piece of it.
You saw Thatch just completely slow down his swing, his protective swing there to stay alive in the count, and doing a good job of keeping this at-bat alive.
The 1-2 again. Thatch swings and misses at strike 3. Went back to the fastball, did Huseman, and he picks up his first out of the top of the 5th.
That was a nice job by Huseman there to change speeds, went with the off-speed pitch, really slowed down Thatch's hands, and went back to the fastball, coming in at 89 miles an hour to speed Thatch up, and just couldn't handle it.
Yeah, you saw that protective swing from Thatch on the low 70s slider, and then went back to the heat at 89. Jaron Advincula is the batter now with 1 gone. Runners are on first and second for the second baseman, who takes low and outside at 75. Ball 1. The third baseman, Cuvée, is far off the line at third, maybe about 15 feet, shaded back of the bag slightly. Karsten Sabathia playing no doubles up that first base line. Deep at first and close to the line. Shortstop holding the runner on there. And they'll take a look back at second at Vu. Tough play to make there for Tyler Petterini, who slapped his left foot on the bag but wasn't able to apply a tag. Vu was back in sliding. He did attempt to steal earlier in this inning, but it was on the payoff pitch to Grant J. So they're on first and second with 1 gone for Advincula, who's 0 for 1. Here it comes. Both runners go. Sawed off into left field. Charging in the left fielder Schubert. It drops in front of him. 1 run will come in and score from second. That's Kian Vu, and it's an RBI single for Jaron Advincula to give the Kettleers a 5-0 lead in the 5th.
It was a perfectly executed hit and run there. Vu running on the pitch. Advincula making no mistake, flaring it into left field, and Vu with that head start coming in to score easily. So small ball for the Kets allows them to net their 5th run of the ballgame.
5th run and 6th hit on the day for Cotuit. Brings up the top of the order in Nolan Naraki. Still with runners on first and second and 1 gone. The first pitch is low and inside on the fastball from Huseman. 0-1. Naraki is 0 for 1. A fly out to right field his last time up. He walked and scored a run in the first. Huseman pitching primarily from the stretch now, especially with these runners on base. And Naraki flings one foul straight back into the net. Other games going on around the league. Harwich leading YD 3-0 in the top of the 6th. 2-2 tie in the bottom of the 3rd between Orleans and Hyannis. Orleans trying to give Hyannis their 2nd straight loss after a 4-0-1 start. 1-1 pitch to Naraki, hammered on the ground towards short. Up with it, Petterini throwing to second for 1. The relay by Fisher to first is not in time. Naraki beats it up the line there. Grant J moves up to 90 feet away, and with 2 gone, here comes Devin Taylor.
Throw from the second baseman Fisher pulled Sabathia off the bag. Would have been a bang-bang play with Naraki hustling out of the box. But now it's runners on the corners with Devin Taylor, who has been up 3 times but is still yet to record an official at-bat.
Yeah, 3 plate appearances, all of which have ended in bases on balls. Has scored 1 run. Reached second in the 4th inning. He was left there. Now a chance with runners on the corners and 2 gone. First pitch from Huseman, going to have to wait as Naraki's back into first standing up. Bourne leads Wareham 2-1 at Doran Park. Bottom of the 3rd there with the Braves threatening. 1 out and a runner on second. Devin Taylor waits the first pitch from Huseman. He swings through an 88-mile-an-hour fastball up in the zone, well located by Huseman, and it's 0-1. So Taylor's on base percentage continues to climb in this game. Kettleers are 3 for 14 with runners in scoring position today. Swing and a high fly ball hit by Taylor. Wind carrying it to deep left field, going back on it Schubert, but he flags it down about 8 feet in front of that left field fence. Could have been a 3-run bomb in the 2nd of the season for Devin Taylor, but the ballpark holds it, And we head to the bottom of the 5th inning with the Kets leading 5-0. And when we come back, my broadcast partner, Alex Rocco, will take over on the play-by-play. Stay tuned.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Leading off
7-8-9 due up for Brewster here in the bottom of the 5th as Cotuit holds a 5-0 advantage. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by my broadcast partner Joe Pratt and our sideline reporter Adele Huffman is Joey Volchko coming out for his 2nd inning of work here. Volchko working out of the windup. His first pitch to Petterini misses low for ball 1. Petterini 0 for 1 on the ballgame, struck out swinging to end the bottom of the 2nd against the starter Ben Jacobs. The 1-0 misses high, 93 on the gun from Volchko. Ben Jacobs went 3 innings, allowed just 1 hit, struck out 5 and walked 1. As the 2-0 from Volchko misses low and outside as Petterini watched 3 straight balls to begin the at-bat. The 3-0 pitch from Volchko misses for ball 4, so a walk on 4 pitches to the shortstop Tyler Petterini begins the bottom of the 5th as Brewster gets the leadoff man on.
Yeah, we were talking about Volchko's numbers last inning, saying how he didn't have too much time this past season at Vanderbilt. Just 12 innings pitched, but 10 walks to 13 strikeouts. So if there's one blemish in his report card, it's definitely the walks to strikeouts.
Now it's Gio Cueto who watches the first pitch catch the strike zone. Cueto today also 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He's 2 for 9 this summer. One of those hits a double. As the 0-1 pitch, 95 in the gun, but runs too far in tight, even in the count at 1-1. This past season at Stetson, Cueto hit .283, blasted 3 home runs and 45 RBIs. This was his first season at Stetson after playing 2 campaigns at Wake Forest. As the 1-1 pitch hits the bottom of the zone, as Volchko up in the count 1-2 here. Volchko comes set, now working out of the stretch, as Petterini leads off first. His 1-2 offering misses low, and the count is even at 2-2. Cueto was a part of that Wake Forest team that reached the Men's College World Series just a couple of years ago. As the 2-2 pitch Got him swinging. 90 miles an hour buried from Joey Volchko as Gio Cueto is set down for the first out of the inning and the second strikeout of the ballgame for Volchko.
Number 24, Kirsten.
Yeah, first one, the looking K back in the 4th inning. And then that time they're able to blow it by Gio Cueto. He didn't look comfortable across that entire at-bat, and a big reason for that, Volchko got ahead.
And Volchko gets ahead here as Karsten Sabathia looks at the first pitch. Sabathia 0 for 1, still hitless on the summer. Just his 3rd game played and his 6th at-bat so far. The 0-1 big cut on and miss from Sabathia, and Volchko working quickly. He's up 0-2. The 6'4" first baseman digs in here as Volchko comes set, now deals the 0-2 pitch. Chopped on the ground to the second baseman at Vincula. He makes the easy play, goes over to first in time to nab Sabathia. Moving up to second is Petterini, but there's 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, nice job there by Volchko to get ahead in the count, but also to draw some weak contact. You brought it up last inning, Alex, how he's locating his hard fastballs low in the zone. And I mean, that's got to be super hard to hit for a line drive. And you saw more of it right there. Another ground ball on the ground by Sabathia. And quickly 2 gone after losing the first batter on balls.
Now it's J.D. Rogers. So we head back to the top of this Whitecap lineup. Rogers 1 for 2 today. Volchko starts him out with a pitch in the dirt blocked by Jay. Petterini stays put on second. Rogers so far this summer hitting .474, the highest average on this Brewster team. Played in 16 games this past season at Vanderbilt, but had just 15 at-bats, went 5 for 15 with a solo home run. Volchko now toes the rubber, takes a look back at Petterini, who stands on second, now comes home. The 1-0 pitch in there, 95 on the gun. That evens the count at 1-1. Rogers played just 2 games last summer in Sanford, but was 3 for 6. With a double and an RBI, Rogers takes a big cut there as Petterini bounces off second. Jay doesn't throw back. The count is 1-2 here with 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, Petterini given a wide berth by these Cotuit middle infielders. Cerny playing far off the bag at short, and Jay likely would have attempted a back pick back to second if Cerny was there and ready, because that was a massive secondary lead by Petterini.
Volchko now comes set, kicks and deals the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, he got him. Second strikeout of the inning for Joey Volchko, and after surrendering the leadoff walk to Tyler Petterini, gets the next 3 batters as we head to the top of the 6th with Cotuit still leading 5-0 here on the Cats Radio Network.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Since 1980,
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
3-4-5 due up for Cotuit here in the top of the sixth, and leading things off is the ever-dangerous Nathan Hall. Hall has reached twice today, reached on a fielder's choice back in the first, singled in the third where he later came around to score, and struck out swinging in the fourth as the first pitch misses off the plate for ball number 1. Levi Huseman back out on the mound. It's Huseman's second inning of work as he pours in a strike to even the count at 1-1. Hall still hitting .545 this summer. He's gotten off to a hot start with the Kets as Hall skies this one into right field. Coming on is J.D. Rogers, but he gets called off by the second baseman Andrew Fisher as Nathan Hall set down for the first out of the inning. Now this brings up the right fielder, A.J. Gracia. Gracia got the party started for the Cats with an RBI single back in the first inning. Gave them a 1-0 lead. They poured 4 more runs on, so they still have the 5-0 advantage. He's 1 for 2 on the ballgame, struck out and also walked as Huseman, his 0-1 pitch misses outside, went with the breaking ball at 75 miles an hour, but the count is even at 1-1. Lefty-lefty matchup here. So 1-1 off-speed pitch misses well outside as Gracia up in the count 2-1. The 2-1 fouled straight back, even the count at 2-2. Gracia broke the Duke freshman record this season with 14 home runs. Previous record holder actually playing second base in this game for Brewster, Andrew Fisher, who set it the year prior with 11. The 2-2 hit on the ground towards second to Fisher. Field's cleanly throw is in time to nab Gracia, so 2 Duke's freshman standouts combined for the out here as quickly there's 2 outs in the inning.
It's just amazing, though, to hear that Gracia, and also super cool that both of these guys are having a chance to play against each other, but Gracia beating that home run record by 6 homers. I mean, that is a hefty mark from 8 to 14. And what a stellar campaign it was for A.J. Gracia at Duke this past season.
Now it's the shortstop Tyler Cerny digging in. Cerny 1 for 3, also scored a run in this game. His count is 1-0. Cerny takes a big cut here. Misses it as the count is even at 1-1. Huseman, 33 pitches, 21 strikes, as he's gone an inning and 2/3. His 1-1 pitch looked at for strike 2. As the fastball caught the heart of the plate as Cerny's quickly down on the count here. Huseman working out of the windup, now comes set, deals the 1-2 pitch. Cerny flares this one foul down the first base line. Foul ball landed in the Cats dugout. Huseman attacking Cerny up in the zone. After his opening pitch of the at-bat missed low, went back with 3 pitches, all at the top of the strike zone.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll go back down low here to try to get Cerny at 1-2.
The 1-2 pitch goes back downstairs, but misses well low, even the count at 2-2 to the Kettleers shortstop. Rain has stopped here in Brewster. Sun trying to peek out of these clouds as the 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Huseman works a 1-2-3 top of the sixth as we head to the bottom half of the inning with the Kettleers still up 5-0 here on the Cats Radio Network.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
Hi, this is Sean Keys, third baseman from Bucknell University, and you're listening to the Cotuit Kettleers Broadcast Network.
Number 27.
Joey Volchko back out on the bump for his third inning of work, and so far he's pitched 2 innings, allowed just 1 hit, no runs, walked 2, and struck out 3. As Ryder Helfrich digging in, the first pitch from Volchko, the fastball. This is too far downstairs for ball number 1. Helfrich so far today 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. There's a diving grab by Nathan Hall out in left field as Helfrich tried to check his swing but went full around on the 90-mile-an-hour fastball from Volchko. Volchko this past season as he fires a pitch that goes straight back to the backstop. This season against Santa Clara went 6 innings, allowed just 1 hit, 1 run, which was unearned, and also struck out 11, not walking a batter. So you could see the potential from the hard-throwing righty. Working out of the windup here, his 2-1. In there for strike 2 as Helfrich just watched it go by.
Yeah, we were just talking with one of the analytics interns for the Kettleers, a Cal Bear, Jacob Siegel. Got an opportunity to watch Volchko this past season. So that's a tough foul ball that he just put off of his front foot. But Jacob was just talking about how he thinks that Volchko could be one of the most talented pitchers in this Kettleers rotation, just based off what he saw this past season when they played Cal and just his numbers, as the batter's going to need to take a couple of seconds to shake that one off. But that 96, 97 mile an hour fastball from Volchko to go along with the changeup that's low 90s in the upper 80s, also a slider, but he typically doesn't throw that slider to left-handed bats. So we'll see how he works here as the still extra moment to shake it off here for Helfrich.
That was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball from Volchko that Helfrich just fouled straight off of his knee. Missed the protective guard that he has on his left leg. Just hit right above it as he went down in some serious pain, but digs back in 2-2 the count here with no outs in the inning. Volchko kicks and deals the 2-2 pitch. That one misses low. Misses the glove of Jay and goes straight back to the backstop. So a full count here to begin the bottom of the 6th. Volchko in that game against Cal, coming on May 13th, went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 earned runs. Struck out 4. As this pitch gets Helfrich swinging, Jay bounces out of his stance, fires in time to nab Ryder Helfrich his 2nd strikeout of the ball game, and the 2nd for Volchko here.
Not a great pitch there. Down low in the zone. Draws Helfrich to chase. Down in the dirt. And he falls back to 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. And now the toughest out in this order for Brewster is up. He was the first batter that Volchko had to face and drilled a double into the gap. And Schubert just coming off of a couple of incredible years at Oklahoma State.
Sorry, the fourth strikeout for Volchko here. Schubert swinging away at the first pitch, off-speed pitch, and fouls that high down the left field line and out of play. But Schubert 1 for 1 today, walked and doubled, but was stranded on third in the bottom of the fourth. The 0-1 pitch, changeup misses low downstairs, even the count at 1-1.
The way how quickly Volchko works, this one's going to be released with over 10 seconds on the clock.
1-1 from Volchko. Tried to hit the low part of the zone, does not get the call, so Schubert now up in the count 2-1. This past season at Oklahoma State hit .370 with 23 home runs and 68 RBIs. He also missed 12 games with an injury. As the 2-1 from Volchko, trying to attack low on Schubert, but did not get the call there, as Schubert's in the driver's seat up 3-1. He's the 13th player in Oklahoma State program history to collect All-American honors in multiple seasons as he draws the 5-pitch walk here as he reaches for the third time today.
Yeah, a really tough guy to pitch to, and so for the second time today, he'll be pitched around. With one gone, they'll put Schubert on first, and another walk accepted by him on the season. Got to appreciate the way, though, that Kettleers pitching has done a decent job of cutting down on the walk slightly in this game. A lot of teams are crowded in the Cape Cod Baseball League for the amount of walks that they issue, but for the Kettleers, 21 going into this game was 9th.
The first pitch from Volchko gets away from Jay. Moving up to second is Schubert. As Volchko has struggled a bit with command, 3 walks so far. The starter, Ben Jacobs, had just 1, so 4 walks and 5 1/3 innings pitched for the Kettleers pitching staff today, but there's a runner on second with 1 out in the inning. And it's the dangerous Daniel Cuvée up. Cuvée 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking. Came into today hitting .412 with a home run and 6 RBIs. 1-0, foul tipped off Jay. 97 on the gun from Volchko there.
Could hear that foul ball rattle off the fence right in front of us. Hear that on our crowd mic. 97, the first one we've seen from Volchko to get up to that gas.
That'd be the hardest pitch we've seen all season.
I think, yeah, good call. Exactly right.
7 games in, 97 on the gun from Volchko. Goes with the 90-mile-an-hour changeup here to freeze Cuvée, as now he's up in the count 1-2.
Jake Faherty at Wareham, he threw really hard as well. Not 97, though.
Volchko checks the runner, comes home. This is outside, even the count at 2-2. Cuvée this past season at Miami, .351 average, 24 home runs, 75 RBIs. Was a freshman All-American. As he rockets this one into right field, as Schubert will stop and be held at third, as Cotuit did a good job relaying the ball in, as A.J. Gracia fielded it quickly as that ball just shot off the bat of Daniel Cuvée. But Brewster has runners on first and third with 1 out in the inning.
That ball was smoked by Cuvée through the right side of the infield, and a great job by him to follow up his first 2 at-bats where he struck out in both of them. But luckily for the Kettleers, with how hard that ball was hit, the runner from second, Schubert, would not be able to come home and score, so he stopped at third. And now Mike Roberts heads out to the mound. Looks like he might make his second pitching change of the game. It'll come with runners on the corners and 1 gone. And now with the left-handed bat, Andrew Fisher coming into the game. So we'll see if he decides to bring in a left-hand arm, with the Whitecaps threatening their best opportunity that they've had this game to score some runs, and a chance here with Andrew Fisher at the plate, who's 0 for 1 with a walk, to do just that. And there will be a new arm in the game for the Kets.
So with Mike Roberts making a slow trek out to the mound, we will step aside for a quick commercial break here on the Catch Digital Network. Don't go anywhere.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free cone on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
With 30 plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. Jacob Schaefer enters as Joey Volchko's day is done. Schaefer enters with runners on first and third with one out in the inning, as Cotuit still possesses the 5-0 lead. But Brewster threatening here, as it's Andrew Fisher, the lefty, digging in as the first pitch from Schaefer bounces off the mitt of Jay, and coming in to score is Nolan Schubert. So Brewster plates its first run of the ball game, as Cotuit now leads 5-1.
Well, one pitch from Volchko put Schubert on second after his walk, and then he advanced to third on the single, and now a wild pitch brings him home. So Kettleers, more of those mistakes and a lot of wild pitches thrown this year by Kett's pitching. And another run comes home because of it. Luckily, with a 5-run cushion, the lead is just cut down to 4 now.
Cuvée also moves up to second on the wild pitch from Schaefer as the 1-0 misses for ball 2. Schaefer tried to paint it on the inside corner. But Schaefer this year, it's his third appearance so far for the Ketts. Team leading third appearance. As he works out of the stretch, takes a look back at Cuvée, now comes home. His 2-0 pitch, foul tipped into the glove of Jay. 93 on the gun from Schaefer there, as the count now is 2-1.
Yeah, from a hard thrower to a hard throw. The last pitch from Volchko came in at 98 miles an hour.
A lot of heat from that right arm as Schaefer this past year at UNC Wilmington. 16 starts, had a 5.99 ERA as it goes with the off-speed pitch there. Even the count at 2-2 to Fisher. One out in the inning that came on Ryder Helfrecht's strikeout to begin the inning. Then it was the walk to Schubert and the single to Cuvée. The wild pitch allowed Schubert to come in and score, as Schaefer steps off the mound with the pitch clock down at just 2.
Yeah, wisely there from Schaefer. Not let that clock go out, and probably some communication from Jay.
The 2-2 inside corner, but misses, as the count now runs full with one out in the inning. Cerny not really holding on the runner Cuvée. As the third baseman, Naraki, playing well off the line, just off the lip of the grass. The full count pitch, chopped down the first base line, but just goes foul as it's touched by the first baseman, Tanner Thatch. So we'll do the 3-2 pitch once more. But Schaefer this past year at 5.99 ERA and 76.2 innings pitched, struck out 61, also walk 30. The seventh pitch of the at-bat upcoming as Schaefer takes a look back at Cuvée, now comes home. And Fisher grounds this one foul down the first base line, hits off the fence. So a good battle working here between the lefty Andrew Fisher, the right-handed arm Jacob Schaefer. Schaefer comes set, glove at the belt. Takes a look back at Cuvée. Now comes home on the 3-2 pitch, fouled straight back into the net behind home plate. And 3 straight foul balls from Fisher. Made it a 9-pitch at-bat here.
Yeah, great battle here from Fisher to welcome Jacob Schaefer into the game. It's still an opportunity for them to extend this inning, maybe get some more runs on the board, but with the local time clock saying 7:26 and dark clouds overhead.
Fisher hits this one into left field. Retreating back is Nathan Hall, who makes the play for out number 2. As Cuvée retreats back to second after the long fly ball from Fisher.
But as we saw last night, Alex, at Lowell Park, the clouds really enhancing the darkness. And that's why that game ended just after 7:30. Seemed a little bit premature, a little early, but likely not enough time to complete the entire 9th inning. And so that one was called due to darkness. We could be headed that way here at Stony Brook Field.
That game was called when Jaron Advincula was batting. There's no one holding on the runner, Cuvée. As Schaefer's pitch to Nick Dumanil hit foul right in front of us, hitting the net right above our broadcast setup down the first base line. Schaefer now toes the rubber, looking to get out of this inning and keep the Kettleers 4-run advantage. Dumanil 0 for 2, struck out swinging and also bounced into a 1-3-6 double play. The rare 1-3-6 double play, Joe.
Yeah, 1-3-6 to end that 4th inning. A ground ball right back to the pitcher, and then they got the runner on second. It was way off the bag. Not really sure why, but a really heads-up play by Tanner Thatch on the infield to quickly relay it to second base, and just a really great display of fielding by the Kets to end that inning and end the threat.
Schaefer takes a look back at the runner, now comes home on the 0-2 pitch. Foul tip just popping in and out of the glove of Grant J. So Dumanil stays alive here. It was Andrew Fisher, the runner, who got doubled off as he just wandered off the bag in a heads-up play, like you mentioned, Joe, by Tanner Thatch, just to fire a strike over to Tyler Cerny, who slapped the tag on Fisher to end at bottom of the 4th. Schaefer, now back of the rubber, comes set, peers in, nods his head as he gets the sign from his catcher. Takes a look back at Cuvée, now comes home on the 0-2 pitch. This one hit on the ground toward the second baseman, Advincula. His throw low in the dirt. The scoop is made by Tanner Thatch. A pretty play by the first baseman, Thatch, to retire the inning as Cotuit comes on. Jacob Schaefer works in and out of trouble as it's a 5-1 lead here in Brewster, and we'll bring it to the third member of our team, Adele Huffman, who has more.
A rising sophomore at Clemson. Just finished up this past year playing 36 games with 24 RBIs and a .264 batting average. And yesterday when I asked him about his stellar performance so far this summer, all he could talk about is his teammates and how they brought in his runs for him. So he's definitely a humble guy, and he said his end goal for this summer is to just have fun mainly and to do his best to help his team win games. And also, Joe and Alex, Naraki and Hall lived together at Martha's Vineyard and also lived together this past summer at Clemson. So it's just great to see them out here this summer playing together and getting to keep playing good ball.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they both seemingly have a great relationship, and at the top third of this Kettleers lineup have made a massive difference. I mean, the way this lineup has been producing since both of these guys were inserted in the lineup, it's night and day. So clearly, as we were just talking about a few minutes ago, Adele, that off-field relationship is so important, and you're seeing it with these two guys too.
And especially the balance that they add to this lineup. Naraki and Hall, both right-handed hitters. The Kettleers in the opening few games of the year, fashioning nearly what seemed like an all-lefty lineup, but Naraki and Hall, two right-handed batters, have came in, had a lot of success. But you always like to see those best friends who play together over the summer, play together at college ball, live together, and just make a lot of memories together. That's what summer baseball is about, and good to see Naraki and Hall doing that together. Once again, great stuff, Adele, as we head to the top of the seventh here, and it's 6, 7, 8 in the Kettleers lineup. Kian Vu digging in, the left-handed hitting center fielder. He's 1 for 3 on the ball game, singled and came around to score in his last at-bat. That came back in the 5th inning. Levi Huseman back out on the bump. As the first pitch from the lefty, Huseman. Breaking ball misses off the plate to Vu for ball number 1. Huseman so far today, 2 innings pitched, 2 hits allowed, 1 earned run. As his off-speed pitch catches the strike zone, even in the count at 1-1 here. He's also walked 1 and struck out 2. As Cotuit still leads 5-1. The 1-1 fastball outside, as Vu now up in the count 2-1. Vu hitting .231 this summer as he takes a big cut out of the 2-1 pitch, but misses it. As Huseman evens the count here, 2-2. Vu, the Arizona State product. Prankster, as Adele talked about earlier, as Huseman goes with the breaking ball, gets Vu fishing for the first out of the inning, and back-to-back strikeouts for Levi Huseman.
What would you do if I put a cup with a piece of gum on it on top of your head?
You know, I haven't thought about that one, but if that were to happen to me, I'd be a little upset.
I'm glad you haven't thought about it.
That's never happened to me before. But you never know. I'm going to be on the lookout as Grant J, the first pitch, fouls that straight back. Going to be out on the lookout. We might have to start some pranks here between me, you, and Adele.
Yeah, be careful, guys.
Warning shots being fired here. Yo 1 to J. Looked at for strike 2 as Huseman really effective with that breaking ball here.
Yeah, in the low 70s to go along with that fastball that's right around 90, really mixing up the velocities.
The 0-2 to the righty, Jay, fouled that straight back into the netting behind home plate. Sun went back into the clouds. Here's a couple of raindrops coming down here at Stony Brook Field in Brewster. Cotuit leads 5-1 as they have 6 hits compared to the Whitecaps 3. Brewster also at 2 errors as the 0-2 pitch to Jay grounded foul right off that Roll Caps banner down the third base line. Right next to the Brewster dugout. Huseman working out of the windup, shakes off his catcher, Cueto. Now comes set, kicks and deals the 0-2 pitch, breaking ball, got him swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts to begin the top of the 7th as Vu and Jay quickly retired, and that brings up the lefty first baseman, Tanner Thatch.
Really nice job by Huseman to respond well after running into a lot of trouble in his first inning pitch, where he put a lot of Kettleers on base, allowed an RBI single from Jaron Advincula, but since then has retired 6 straight Ketts batters.
4 strikeouts for Huseman. He begins the at-bat against Thatch with a breaking ball that misses low for ball number 1. Huseman working quickly, 13 on the pitch clock. Goes with the fastball here. That clips the zone. Thatch doesn't agree with the call. The count is even at 1-1 here. 1-1 pitch, 90 on the gun. Fastball in there for strike two. As Thatch is quickly down 1-2 in the count. He's 1 for 3 on the day, hitting 167 this summer. As the 1-2 pitch, fastball low and outside for ball two. And Nolan Araki was the last Kettleer to reach. That was in the top of the fifth as Thatch with a long foul ball down the third base line and well out of play into the trees.
Yeah, the rain has picked back up above Stony Brook Field.
The 2-2 from Huseman tipped into the glove of Cueto for strike three. So Levi Huseman strikes out the side here in the top of the seventh, and we head to the bottom of the seventh with the Kettleers still leading 5-1 here on the Cats Radio Network.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Ohio State University, number 10, Tyler.
7, 8, 9 due up here in the bottom of the seventh as it's the left-handed hitting shortstop Tyler Petterini digging in against Jacob Schaefer. Schaefer working his first full inning of work. Now out of the windup, deals the 0-0 pitch. Petterini checked his swing, did not go around, so the count is 1-0. He's 0 for 1 on the ballgame, struck out swinging to end the second, and walked in the fifth. This one chopped, grounded off of his front knee as Schaefer comes off the mound, fields his position cleanly, but just whips that ball aside as it's a foul ball. Petterini played in Brewster last summer, played in just 6 games, hit .294, went 5 for 17, also had an RBI. This past season at Ohio State, hit .307, but chops this softly back to Schaefer, comes off to the mound, flips it underhand to Tanner Thatch for out number 1.
Yeah, good job by Jacob Schaefer to pitch to weak contact here to start off this inning. As the rain continues to come down above Stony Brook Field, and see how long the umps let this one go, but not too hard yet.
The sun came out for just a moment, but the rain has once again began here in Brewster as it's the catcher Gio Cueto who takes a big cut on the first pitch from Jacob Schaefer. Cueto today 0 for 2. with a pair of strikeouts, both swinging. As Schaefer set at the belt, now kicks and deals the 0-1. Pitch located on the inner part of the plate does not get the call as Schaefer, so Cueto evens the count at 1-1 here. Hitting 200 this summer, 2 for 10 with 4 strikeouts as the 1-1 pitch. Half-hearted swing from Cueto there as Schaefer just tied him up in knots on the inside fastball coming in at 85 miles an hour.
Perfect pitch from Schaefer, well located if I'm him. Could go right back to that one here, but we'll see. Might try to blow it by him at 95, 94.
Schaefer set, deals the 1-2 pitch. Change up low. Cueto lays off, and now the count is even at 2-2. A tough take there from the catcher. Schaefer, 20 pitches so far and just over an inning of work, 14 strikes to 6 balls as he gets his first strikeout of the evening as Gio Cueto goes fishing on the inside pitch, his third punch-out of the day, and that brings up the 9-hole hitter and first baseman Karsten Sabathia. Sabathia today 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts, one back to the pitcher, that was Ben Jacobs, and grounder to Jaron Advincula in the 5th. The first pitch from Schaefer, fastball 93 on the gun, misses low for ball 1. Sabathia still hitless so far this summer here in Brewster, 0 for 6. Does have 2 stolen bases though. 1-0, popped high. Thatch tracing it down the first base line, getting underneath it, and making the grab for out number 3 as Jacob Schaefer works a 1-2-3, bottom of the 7th, and we head to the top of the 8th with Cotuit totally in control of this ball game, up 5-1 here on the Cats Radio Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
Hi, this is Sean Keys, third baseman from Bucknell University, and you're listening to the Cotuit Kettleers Broadcast Network.
9-1-2 due up here in the top of the 8th. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by my broadcast partner Joe Pratt and our sideline reporter Adele Huffman as Jaron Advincula set to lead things off. Advincula 1 for 3 on the ball game. Does have an RBI as he's hitting .353 this summer. As Brewster with a new arm, Parker Detmers starts out the first at-bat of his afternoon, the first pitch strike. Detmers, his second appearance so far this summer. In his first outing, worked 2 innings as he's quickly up in the count 0-2 as Advincula watches 2 straight fastballs catch the strike zone. But Detmers went 2 innings, allowed 5 hits, 2 runs, did not walk or strike out a batter as he records his first strikeout of the summer as Advincula goes down on strikes, and that's 5 straight strikeouts for this Kettleer lineup.
Yeah, and these Brewster pitchers from Huseman now to the new arm in the game. It's a frustrating day for Jaron Advincula at the plate. He's really aggressive at the plate. You have to appreciate that, but that time just chasing one that was too high and outside, and he goes down on 3 pitches.
Now we head back to the Kettleer lineup. It's Nolan Naraki who watches the first pitch catch the strike zone, so 4 straight strikes out of the bullpen for Detmers. This past season at Louisville went 2-1 in 15 appearances, had a 7.45 ERA as he tosses his first ball as the breaking ball misses well outside for ball number 1. In 19 1/3 innings of work, struck out 18 batters, also walked 15 as he brews back and lets one rip as 93 on the gun, foul tip straight in the glove of Gio Cueto as Naraki now down to the count 1-2 with 1 out in the inning. Cotuit still with the 5-1 advantage as Detmers comes set. This one hitting the left field, but making the jumping grab is the shortstop Tyler Petterini. So an excellent defensive play there by the shortstop as Nolan Naraki out for the second, is the second out of the inning.
Looked like that was headed into left field for a base hit, but quickly tracking that one down as Petterini closed that one quickly into shallow left field and robs Naraki of a hit, so there's 2 gone for Taylor.
Now it's Devin Taylor, who's 0 for 1, takes a healthy cut out of the first pitch from Detmers. 94 miles an hour. Seen a lot of hard relievers in this game, Joe. The 0-1 to Taylor. This one hitting the left center field gap. On the run is the center fielder, Dumanil. Taylor takes a turnaround first. He will take the turnaround second. Full speed in the third. The relay throw is not in time as it skips past the glove of the third baseman, Cuvée. But backing up is the pitcher, Detmers, as Devin Taylor hits a triple, as the Cats now have a runner just 90 feet away with 2 outs in the inning.
First 3-bagger of the year for the Kettleers. That ball was smoked off the bat of Devin Taylor into the opposite alleyway. He was thinking 3 the whole way as he was chugging around second, and that one just barely got away from the third baseman over there, Cuvée. And a nice job by Taylor. Not sure if the throw would have beat him anyway, as he hustles out a triple with 2 gone.
That was a quick relay from Dumanil to Petterini. The throw is just off the mark to Cuvée. Here's Nathan Hall up. Watches the first pitch fastball miss well outside for ball number 1. Hall today 1 for 4 with a strikeout. Also scored a run that came back in the 3rd inning. He reached on his lone single. A 1-0 pitch. This one skips by the glove of Cueto. Taylor will easily come in and score as the Kettleers now have a 6-1 lead here in the top of the 8th after the wild pitch from Detmers.
Yeah, you mentioned the hard-throwing relievers that entered this game. Bit wild, too, some of them. We saw more of it right there. So Devin Taylor legs out the triple and does it all on his own, advancing home on the wild pitch. So a really nice job by him to get the 6th run of this game for the Kettleers.
Detmers comes set, deals. Hall hits this one into right field. Coming on is the second baseman, actually, Andrew Fisher, who runs out in a short right field and makes the running grab for out number 3, but not before Devin Taylor hits the Kettleers' first triple of the season and comes in to score off of a wild pitch as Cotuit has a 6-1 lead. Stay tuned for more here on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Willowbend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willowbend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at Willow Bend.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services.
With 30
Founded
plus years
and owned
of
by
personal
Michael
injury
Pasic, a team
litigation
of
and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
Number 26, James.
Top of the Brewster lineup here to lead things off in the bottom of the eighth. J.D. Rogers, Ryder Helfrich, and Nolan Schubert due up. So lefty Rogers digging in against Jacob Schaefer, who foul tips this straight back into the fence behind home plate. 93 on the gun from Schaefer. Rogers today 1 for 3. Has struck out, also swiped a bag. As Schaefer comes set at the belt. Now kicks and deals. Rogers squares to bunt. Schaefer comes off the mound, fields it cleanly. Throw is not in time as pulls the first baseman Tanner Thatch off the bag. So it's a bunt single for J.D. Rogers, and Brewster has their leadoff man up.
It's a nice snag by Tanner Thatch. That runner likely ending up on second, maybe third if it gets by him. Really tough play made by Jacob Schaefer. Likely if he could field that one again, he probably would have just eaten it because it was not even close to getting the runner running up that first base line. Really solid first base played by Tanner Thatch tonight.
That bunt was dribbled toward the third base side, and great speed from Rogers there. Now it's Ryder Helfrich. Foul tips it straight back into the fence as the count is now 0-1.
See, that's what I thought. I lowered it.
Rogers 2 for 4 on the day. Has 5 stolen bases, always a threat to go. Fakes running as the breaking ball from Schaefer looked at for strike 2 from Helfrich. As Rogers stays put at first. Schaefer now back out on the rubber. Takes a look back at Rogers. With Thatch holding him on at first base, now comes set. Deals the 0-2 pitch. That one misses high. The count is 1-2 to Ryder Helfrich, who's 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Also flew out as Schaefer comes set, takes a look at Rogers. Now comes home. Rogers takes off, swinging a miss by Helfrich. The throw down to second is not in time as J.D. Rogers swipes second. Ryder Helfrich is set down on the strikeout, his third of the day and first out here in the bottom of the eighth.
Couldn't complete the strike him out, throw him out. A new catcher in the game for the Kets is Matt Klein. Trying to relay that one down to second. Not quite in time, but they get that first out. Schubert's been the toughest out in this Brewster lineup today. And an opportunity for them to put some more runs on the board with the score at 6-1. He was the first to come home back in the 6th for Brewster.
Schubert just 1 for 1 today, but he's reached in all 3 plate appearances as he works 2 walks. A half-hearted swing there as tried to check his swing, but couldn't hold back on the First pitch breaking ball from Schaefer. 0-1 is the count now. That was a booming double that Schubert hit back in the bottom of the fourth. Rogers fakes heading to third as Schubert waves through another breaking ball here from Schaefer as he's quickly down 0-2. Cerny not holding on Rogers at second. The Kettleers still leading 6-1. Rogers heads for third, pitches low. Klein does not make the throw as Shady Rogers swipes third and now is just 90 feet away as the 0-2 pitch misses low from Schaefer. So 1-2 is the count, and Rogers stands at third.
It's a Brewster team that leads the league in stolen bases and more aggressive base running, down 5 runs. With the second run standing just 90 feet away, Schubert has an opportunity to score the second one.
Rogers now up to 6 stolen bases as Schubert rockets a ball foul. The count stays at 1-2.
Nice job by Kett's pitching tonight. Just 4 walks to 11 strikeouts and 4 hits on the board for Brewster.
Brewster tonight just 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They have a runner just 90 feet away, trailing by 5 as Schaefer rears back and lets a 95-mile-an-hour fastball go by as Nolan Schubert set down on strikes for the second out of the inning.
Perfect pitch there from Schaefer, who's really settled into this second inning of work for him, and a chance here to get the third out of this frame. We'll see if the umpiring crew lets them play the 9th inning as the skies continue to darken.
The first pitch from Schaefer looked at for strike number 1 from Daniel Cotuit, who is 1 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking. But his single came back in the 6th inning. There was a rocket into right field as Cotuit swings at the 0-1 pitch, hits that one foul down the first base line, and he's quickly down to the count 0-2. Schaefer set at the belt, takes a look at Rogers at third, now comes home on the 0-2 pitch, climbs the ladder, and gets Daniel Cotuit swinging. So after surrendering the leadoff single to J.D. Rogers, 3 consecutive strikeouts for Jacob Schaefer as we head to the top of the 9th with Cotuit up 6-1, and that's actually going to be the ball game here.
Yeah, great win for the Ketts. 6 runs on 7 hits, no errors compared to 1 run on 4 hits. 2 errors for the Whitecaps. It was those 2 errors made by the Whitecaps in the top of the 3rd inning to really put the Kettleers in control of this ball game, en route to their 3rd straight win.
So Cotuit improves to 4-3 on the season, 3 consecutive wins for the Kettleers as they capture the 6-1 victory over Brewster here on Saturday. And once again, Joe, just another great offensive performance for the Kettleers, really spirited by that 3-run 3rd inning.
Yeah, it was, and you like their ability to get ahead early in these games and then settling in their pitchers nicely into some comfortable leads, and that's clearly what happened with Ben Jacobs and then Joey Volchko. Jacob Schaefer was the next arm to come into the game for the Kettleers, shutting down the Brewster bats, who go just 4 for 24 today. And so another game where the Kettleers have a rain out. They come out on the good end of it. A 6-1 win from Brewster, and they'll be looking to make it 4 in a row tomorrow night at home against Chatham.
And quickly, just talking about this Cotuit pitching staff today, you mentioned the 4 hits, 13 strikeouts to just 4 walks. Ben Jacobs got the ball. He was masterful. Went 3 innings, allowed just 1 hit, walked 1, struck out 5. Joey Volchko went 2 1/3, gave up 2 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. And then Jacob Schaefer finished out the ball game, 2 2/3 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts. And that was all the Cotuit offense really needed, but they got contributions up and down the lineup. Devin Taylor, 1 for 2 at 1 hit. The Kettleers' first triple of the season. AJ Gracia, he had an RBI. Jaron Advincula had the other RBI, but Cotuit also did a good job capitalizing on the 2 errors committed by Brewster.
Yeah, it was that pop-up into center field. Dumanil made his way underneath it. Would have been the 3rd out of the inning, but he dropped the ball, and I think these gray skies overhead maybe had an impact on that. He lost the sight of that baseball, and then 2 runs were able to come in and score. And so the Kettleers just built some momentum off that, took the wind out of any momentum that Brewster had their way, and they really didn't weren't able to manufacture too many base runners, too many hits, and Kett's pitching did a nice job of shutting them down, especially when runners got on base. And I think that's the most important thing, is that these Kettleers pitchers have been able to really bear down when runners have gotten in scoring position, when they've gotten on base in general. And so that's really promising and something that you like to see moving forward against a really talented Cape Cod Baseball League.
Brewster hit just 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position as they struggled offensively. It was the top of their order that gave up contributions. J.D. Rogers, he went 2 for 4. Nolan Schubert, 1 for 2. And then Daniel Cuvée, 1 for 4. But that was the only 4 hits of the ballgame for Brewster, as Cotuit's pitching was dominant. But that'll do it from our coverage from Stony Brook Field, as the Cotuit Kettleers improved to 4-3 on the season, capturing a 6-1 victory over Brewster. From my broadcast partner, Joe Pratt, for our sideline reporter, Adele Huffman, I'm Alex Rocco. Thank you so much for spending part of your Saturday evening with us. Cotuit victorious here in Brewster with a